Hello and welcome to the second qualifier of the Irish 12 Titans, brought to you by Rocket League Ireland. I am Rez. I'm going to be joined today by the lovely Enwrong. How are we, Enwrong?
I'm very good, Rez. Thank you very much for having me on today. Guys, I am extremely excited to see how this second qualifier goes, of course. Only 4 positions left, Rez, and there's a few rivalries I think we both heard in Discord today between a certain few players. I'm looking forward to seeing how spicy they become.
Absolutely. We will be here throughout the evening until the bracket is complete. Rocket League server permitting, of course. But things do seem to be going ahead. So we're going to be going through the bracket this evening, having a look at some of the different storylines that we have. And there are a couple of things I just want to start off with. Is obviously we've got a few DQs coming in already. Loki DQing to Paradox, and Pluto getting a bye against LeMarcus, even though we're not sure if Pluto is here. So a few interesting storylines. You mentioned just before that there are some rivalries going on in RLI at the moment, one of which is that between LTX Sam and Mayday. That's a match that we could see a little later on in the evening. Both those players, a fair bit of trash talk going on earlier today, to say the least. Both confident they can beat each other, but that will require both of them to make it to the point where they can play each other. So,
Ooh, controversial, Rez. You trying to say that both these boys won't make it, are you?
well,
Ooh, I don't know about that one.
there
Oh.
are only 4 spots remaining, of course, in the 12 Titans. So people will be fighting. I believe we have 82 people signed up. Obviously, there will be a few who cannot make it or choose to not play, of course. But we'll see how things advance. Obviously, the Rocket League servers have been having some degree of issues today, but things should be able to go ahead, at least for the time being.
Yeah, they're down for some at the moment. I know a few of you there now are obviously asking what do we do, etc. So for those of you guys who are watching the stream, in the words of Boris Johnson, stay at home. Stay at home. Don't go outdoors. Don't. No, no. But, there's nothing we can do. I mean, like, we obviously don't control the servers. Just try your best to get the games going. If you can, I guess we hold the bracket up a little bit. But it's working for some people. So to all of you, I guess, who are there, just try your best to get the game going. There isn't much you can do. But yeah, I obviously I've been around the last half an hour, so I'm not sure what's happening. But good luck to everyone who's playing today. In relation to that Mayday and
Sam.
Sam rivalry, that's going to be interesting. I do think both of them will be favourites to make the final of the winners bracket and their side of the bracket. But there are a lot of controversial comments and statements been made by both players earlier on there in the Discord call, and I hope, Rez, that we get that matchup because that will be absolutely fire.
Yeah, absolutely. Both those players very confident. Obviously, there are some difficult players standing in their way. LTX Sam will have to go through the likes of Blah and Joe and Elite Spartan, who I've heard is a fairly high caliber player, just to play Mayday. One match I just want to highlight early on in the bracket that is currently going ahead is the matchup between the Ryboy and Fass Bended. An interesting one. Both players fairly similar in stature, I would say. I'm not sure who I'd put ahead. Maybe I'll put Fass ahead ever so slightly, but I'd be interested to see how that one plays out within the next couple of minutes.
Well, Fast has just messaged me, and I don't think it's going to be good news. RL servers are down for me. Well, yeah, I'm not really sure. All I will say to everyone right now is that they check in if they're around. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put up a little announcement there, Rez. So I'm going to just do that there. If you want to continue talking on another topic while I get this, I guess, up and running. But for everyone there, please make sure you check in. If you're second round and you're here, check in, please, because that stops the bracket advancing once the games aren't actually reported. So just make sure you check in. and we'll wait for the servers to come back online. So just make sure you do that, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so similarly to how things went on Tuesday in the other qualifier, I have gone around asking for the players that people think will advance through. There will be 4 people advancing through to the final 12 today. The final 4, in fact. And once again, I've come back, and every single person I asked had exactly the same response, just like on Tuesday. Again, with a sample size of just 1 from Linsk. Thank you very much, Linsk, for giving me some content
Again.
to talk about, yes. And so Linsk predicts that Panda, Adza, Shallow, and LTX Sam are going to be the ones who advance through to the final 12 today. So some interesting picks there. I just want to highlight the choice of LTX Sam. Obviously, the rivalry that he has with Mayday is going to be an interesting one. We'll see that develop through the brackets. And this is the final chance. There are no more qualifiers after this one. Sort of, these players have got their lifeline. They lost on Tuesday, but they just have to hope that they can pull through today. It's a massive bracket, this one. Double elimination, all best of ones throughout the night, with 4 people going through to join the final 12. I'm just going to do a brief rundown of the 8 people, the 8 players that we already have who have made it into the final 12. Those being our 4 gatekeepers of Mug, Red Eyes, Walshy, and Ineffable, and the 4 people who qualified through the first qualifier that took place on Tuesday. That being Rob Kiernan. Help me out, Enwrong. Rob Kiernan,
Rob Kiernan, Pengu, Ryan, and Spectre. You can go tell us about the Spectre match and what happened there.
So, obviously, I'm sure many of you who were watching earlier on the stream, Marco, also known as Marco EU, advanced through in the upper bracket flawlessly. He won every game, and he was looking fantastic. Though, let's say some evidence arose that there were some players some players who were less satisfied with Marco's conduct throughout the tournament. That evidence was reviewed by the staff team, and the decision was made to remove Marco from the tournament and strip him of his spot in the final. And a shock decision, I know, but I think definitely one that's viable and definitely a fair decision from the staff team. He some
yeah, I
of his
mean, like,
conduct
if you
was
saw
not
the comments and stuff he was doing, was absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like, he's just, if you're winning a game, why would you go and say easy in the chat? Why would you bother? Like, why would you say easy? What a save? What's the point? What do you gain by that? And I just want to speak to everyone out there at the moment who is watching the stream, because obviously a lot of you can't play your games at the moment, and again, that's outside of our control. But I hope that gets working for you soon. Like, don't do that. Don't be that person. Don't be a dick. Just be respectful. If you want to, like, have a bit of, like, friendly beef, kind of like the way Mayday and Sam were, friendly, not so friendly, but, like, it's respect, but at the same time they're trying to, like, wind each other up. That's fine. But there wasn't respect there. It was just kind of toxicity and a small bit of hatred from Marco, and it's not really a good thing to be doing at all. And I have absolutely no respect for someone like that. And any chance I can get, I can just I can say good luck in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely. Just following on from that, so once Marco was disqualified, there was a playoff match between Spect and Panda, the 2 people who just missed out on making it through to the finals. That match took place, Panda and Spectre narrowly took home the victory, knocking Panda out, sending him back into the second qualifier. But Spectre, I think the shock of the first qualifier, really.
Yeah, as an individual performance, as far as he got, like, without one shock performance, Spectre for me was absolutely outstanding. I really have to say it. He got so far in that bracket. It's not like he took down one person. He obviously made it all the way, Rez, let's not forget. He got that far, but he took down multiple people that were, I would say, on paper better ones players than him. He took down Mayday, for example. He ran Ryan pretty close as well on top of that. And he showed up somewhat against Rob Kiernan. It wasn't a complete whitewash. 8-3 isn't a bad scoreline necessarily. And then he went down, played Panda in that really high pressure ones match, after the tournament had pretty much ended. And he went on and he crushed Panda, really, to be honest with you. He pretty much destroyed him. So, Pluto for me. Or sorry, Pluto? Spectre. No, definitely won't say Pluto. Spectre for me, excellent job there by him. And, very impressed by him. And on that note, I must disqualify Pluto actually from the tournament. So 1 second. Now you go ahead.
Yes,
Tell us more.
yes. So I have just received information that Psyonix have put the Rocket League servers into maintenance mode, which, at least in my opinion, is incredibly inconsiderate. Obviously, they haven't considered the fact that the Irish 12 Titans second qualifier is going on at this hour. So I think we will try and force our way forward for the next sort of couple of minutes, just hoping that things improve. But if not, don't worry, we're not going to be disqualifying anybody from this tournament. Nobody's going to lose because they can't connect to the servers. We will find a way. We are RLI. After all, we are the world's most consistent esports tournament organisation.
Yes, far better than Rocket League and Psyonix at actually organising something, and that's a fact. For any of you who are there, of course, tuning into the stream right now and are playing in this tournament, check in. Don't forget, if you don't check in, I can't save you. If both of you check in, or if one of you check in, at least you go to the next round, etc. But check in and let's hold off for the moment. The servers are undergoing maintenance. There's not much else we can do. If the servers aren't up and running shortly, we'll have to hold off the bracket for another day, excluding the results that have already happened. So check in, and yeah. But apparently, they're back now for a lot of people, as far as I'm aware. I'm seeing it now in general, Rez. But Rez, I guess what I'm going to do actually is anyone in the chat, because I know there's a couple of you. Who are your favourites to get through? Give us 4 names and who you believe will come through today. Let me give you my 4 favourites, Rez. I believe Panda, Adzer, Shallow, and LTXM will make it through today. Those are my predictions.
Yeah, so those are actually the same ones as Lynx gave, so we still have an 100% rate of people thinking to go through. Now, it's a sample size of 2, which is very impressive. I think there are a few other dark horses in this bracket that we can't forget about. Fuchsia, obviously. He got knocked down to the low brackets due to a controller issue, so he's going to be hoping that that doesn't send him down today. He'll be hoping for the best. Also, Mayday, if he can get through his match against LTX Sam, I can also see him as being in good stead to make it through to the finals. But it's best of ones. Anything can happen. There isn't a huge amount of there is a large amount of sort of fortune or just how well you play in those 5 minutes. There's no other time. It's not a best of 3, it's not a best of 5, it's just the best of 1. So you have 5 minutes to prove yourself against your opponent, else it is all over. So just, we mentioned Panda has been one of the favourites to go through. His side of the bracket certainly has some difficult players on it. He's got Dry that he would have to go up against. Dry, actually, who hasn't checked in yet. Well, I'll keep you updated on that. But Dry, he'd have to face him in winners round 4, and potentially the likes of Demox in winners round 5. So it's certainly not free. There are no free brackets or free sides of the bracket in this tournament. That's for
there
sure.
are a few that are easier than the other. Let's not sugarcoat it a little bit, but at the same time, when you get that far into it, it's going to be tough no matter what. So yeah, hopefully they show up there. Of course, I've awarded the DQ in there to Panda because Pluto is obviously an idiot. So he's been removed from the server, just so everyone knows. Yes, Pluto is an idiot. I show no respect to him, and hopefully he never shows his face around here again because he is an absolute idiot. I've shared the screenshot as well. Name and shame, that's my thing, Rez. As you know, I love naming and shaming people. And there are a few people who didn't show up to the first qualifier, and if they don't show up to the second qualifier here after signing up, I will be having strong words with them. And yeah, if they don't provide a very good reason, then they might be joining Pluto in exile.
Yeah, so Enwrong still competing to have to ban more people from the server than we have coming in for the month of March, which is certainly going to be an impressive feat. We've had We've had Donald, Pluto, Marco.
Oh well, Donald came back. Didn't Donald's 7 accounts came back? And then Pascal about 20 accounts.
Absolute
But
shambles, but it does look like the servers have returned and we should be able to get things going reasonably soon. A lot of people not checking in at the moment. Krungus, Dohi, N-Cannon, Fuchsia, Abe, Junior, all some notable names who haven't checked in. Joe and Tony as well. They're probably at the pub. And then APS and Taste Rainbows also currently not checked in. So if any of you are in the chat, then I encourage you all to check in and play.
Yeah, there's a few people that are going to go through here now just because they've checked in.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see how Smash handles that. It's a bit of a shambles, to be honest. Some of these people didn't show up to the first qualifier, some have. And yeah, I'll be having a word with a couple of these guys if they don't show up shortly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some high quality games. For those of you who are, of course, able to get going, good luck. But yeah, I guess Rez, one of the big matches I'm kind of looking out for in this early round is Elite Spartan 100 versus Liam, aka Solo. And the reason why is because Elite Spartan is top 100 in Xbox, um, which obviously is nowhere near top 100 on PC or global, but he's still 1700 on Xbox, and I would say that's like 1850, 1900 on PC because the input
Yeah.
lag is so bad on Xbox. So I want to see how that guy does against Solo. Solo's not a bad ones player, you know, he's kind of middle of the pack, lower end, but like he's not terrible. So I'd be interested to see how that
Yeah,
goes.
he could definitely be an unknown element, and if LTX Sam, who he'd likely face if he won his first game against Solo, he could definitely pose a threat towards Sam, and that would be a massive shot. That would prevent the Sam Mayday
Mm.
matchup, at least for now in the upper bracket. And Mayday probably has the easier side of things, sort of the most challenging player in his sort of side of bracket, arguably Slick Mick, who is definitely a good once player in his own right, but probably not the caliber. And there we go, the DQs have come through now, and a couple of players that we have moving on thanks to DQs. We have Mull moving through, SPF moving through.
Touch moving through as well off of
Yes,
DQ, even though he's
yeah.
DQ'd out of it. So well done, Touch.
Krongus as well. He didn't show up, but at least he moves through to the next round of bracket. Similarly, case with Abe and also N Cannon not checking in. So hopefully the servers are beginning to pop back up foremost. That would be incredibly helpful. And
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
just a
Sorry,
note.
I'm just
Oh,
handling a few disputes at the moment, which are already ongoing. So yeah,
yeah,
you continue talking.
I'll keep talking. So just a note earlier on when we asked for the four predictions of who's going to go through, Shallow came in with a bold prediction of the four people going through were to be Shallow, 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 and Shallow. So Shallow certainly hoping to bring the sauce this afternoon or this evening to bring him through to the qualifier. And I think he's
I
definitely
know it's the afternoon for you, Rez. I know it's the afternoon for you. You know, you're one of those young people who kind of wake up now, whatever. Or, yeah, it is the afternoon for you. But for some people here, Rez, some people that work their hearts out every day and work, it's the evening, Rez. So although you said afternoon, it's the evening. Please don't forget.
thank you so much for your teaching, considering schools are closed, so the education from Enwrong is much required. An interesting match that we're going to have going on very shortly is going to be JOTV versus Blah. That would be an interesting match. I think Blah's definitely favourite to take that, but Jo is a player certainly capable of making an upset. Taste Rainbows has advanced through to the next round of bracket despite having his having his console taken away from him, which is certainly interesting. He's going to go all the way, I reckon. Future being DQ'd down into the low bracket aside the likes of Ncan, J Key, and Hasco. So lots of DQs for the time being. It's yet to be known whether that's going to be due to the servers or whether that's due to just people not showing up, which would certainly be disappointing. Obviously, a lot on the line, especially in this second qualifier. Winner goes through to 12 Titans, the last 12, which would be an impressive achievement to add to your RLI resume. Um,
Yeah, well, many qualifying for the top 12 for any resume, even if you're the Red Eyes, the Mugs, the guys who've already won this. But just getting in there is an impressive achievement because although Rob Kiernan, for example, Rez, makes top 12, he'd never made it before. And it is an important achievement in your milestone in Rocket League Ireland because, in my mind, and I know you're kind of one of the people who believes this as well, but a lot of other people do, playing in these kind of high pressure tournaments is a lot more. It tells you a lot more about the player than playing in ranked, for example, or in scrims. You know, this kind of is really the bee's knees. This is what kind of separates the men from the boys, a bit like LAN, and these are high pressure situations. So yeah,
yeah.
this is what you're looking at.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking before the stream began, and you outlined sort of the 8 players that you think are sort of stood in the best stead to go through. Those being Panda, Shallow, LTX Sam, Jaffa, Adza, Mayday, Little Dude, and Demox. So I think Panda and Shallow are probably the two favourites to be going through, but that sort of third and fourth spot definitely in a little bit more ambiguity. I think The other
Well, you
6 in
say
that
that,
challenge.
but sorry to interrupt, but you say that, but Shallow and Panda have to actually play. They're on the same side of the bracket. Correct me if
Yeah,
I'm
no,
wrong, right?
no, you do raise a very good point. So that's actually an interesting.
Oh no, they're not. You're wrong. I'm wrong. Sorry, I should not have interrupted you. I'll never speak again. Go on, I'm muting myself then.
Yeah, so Panda and Shallow arguably the favourites to advance through the upper bracket, but the lower bracket between Sam, Jaffa, Adza, Mayday, Little Dude, and Demox. I think arguably Little Dude and Demox probably the weakest out of those four. That brings it down to four. Jaffa didn't perform particularly well in the first qualifier, so maybe not him. So that brings it down to Sam, Adza, and Mayday, and both those three players fighting for the two positions. And oh, I do not know what's going to happen there. All three very impressive players in their own right. And Aiden just pointing out in the chat that Shallow cannot possibly lose because he has backers mod today. So he will bring the sauce, I'm sure of it. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing him in some of his later games against the likes of, let's see, who's on his side of the bracket. Yeah, so on Shallow's side of the bracket, some of the most challenging players he will have to face: Sam, Mayday, and Blah also in there. All very strong players. I think it's difficult. Both sides
Yeah.
of the bracket fairly evenly balanced. I think Panda might have a slightly tougher road as Demox goes through knocking Paradox down to the low bracket.
Big thing though for Panda. Ads is about the DQ. Big moment here for Panda actually.
Yeah.
This could make his bracket a whole lot easier. Because if Adzer goes out, Panda's pretty much... Demox is the only one who can really stop him. Jaffa, I forgot about Jaffa actually. Let's not forget about Jaffa. But yeah, just to give you a few updates actually, Res, on scores. Clayton has obviously taken down Zexel. There we don't have an accurate scoring in that series, but he beat him anyway. Trix took down John AK Always 3-5, so respectable
That's a
showing there
shame.
from John. Yeah, it is. It's a big shame. Big Man Thing took down Aska, but we don't know the actual accurate scoring there for that game. Mayday took down Big Man Thing then 9-1 in a bloodbath. Lucre takes down Gilzo 6-1, didn't get to Brazil quite. Epic took down Jet of Prey 7-5, close series. Demox took down Paradox 6-1, and Gitsy took down Poke with a Stick 8-2. So a couple of results coming in there now, Rez, for you to kind of
look into.
Have a think about it.
Yeah, Luke also beating Gilzo 6-1, and Mayday beating Big Man Ting 9-1, as you mentioned. So Mayday looking good early on, but you've got to raise the question, especially in Mayday's case, his first sort of challenging match, where I think he's even going to be challenged, is potentially going to be when he reaches winners round 4, and that will be against Slick Mick. So there obviously is the question that people might not be able to warm up properly going into some of the more difficult series, so that could definitely be a shock for him when he gets into those games.
Yeah, it could be, but I guess he's going to play Colin now, who took down Linsk, and Linsk is he's no slouch. He did play an All-Star this season, just like you, Rez, and me. So he's not a terrible player by any stretch, you know. So Colin is obviously somewhat capable. So Mayday will have to put in a reasonable performance. Solo took down Elite Spartan 100, so Xbox does not always win. Just so you know, 6-5 close series there.
Yeah, very close game between those two lads, and a couple of other games that get going. Gitsy has gone through to face Panda. That would be an interesting match. I'd like to see the result of that on Panda against Gitsy King in the winners round 3. Demox against Mull also. And Lovely Cans has made it through against Donal. Let's go Cans. He had a phenomenal showing, really exceeded expectations. He was another one of the standouts in the first qualifier, getting himself the 9th seed in this one. So he's got through. His next game will be against Touch, but Touch DQ'd the first round and only got through to this round because the other player DQ'd. So chances are Cans will make himself into winners round 4, where he will face the winner of Demox versus Mull, which will be definitely a very tough game considering he may not be particularly warmed up.
Yeah, absolutely. There's one interesting result that's coming out now. Irish Iniesta was one of the low seeds. He's probably going to go through the winners round 4. Because Adzer is DQ'd, Samsara has DQ'd, and Krungus is very likely to DQ. So he could end up in a top 4 spot.
God. Yeah, that would be a similar story to what it's just Abe did in the first qualifier, where he made it through to winners round 4 solely off DQs, which is not really the way you want to be winning, but a win is a win, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's kind of annoying, I guess, because
another interesting result has just come in. Dormer has taken down your brother Enwrong, Captain Quark, Fools
Terrible.
11-7 to Dormer, and well, I bet that was a bit of a questionable game on both sides.
Yeah, this is absolutely terrible by Dormer. I'm gonna have a word with Dormer. You're not allowed to beat my brother up like that, Dormer. I'm gonna see you at line.
Fighting talk, fighting talk. I like your sticking up for your brother. We like that. So Dormer's gonna go through to face either Wazito or Airside. Airside, a player we haven't seen in a long time in RLI, but he is back in this tournament and he will be looking to get through. I think it's definitely achievable. He potentially could make it even to the winners quarter-final, winners round 5, to solely off DQs. God, Dormer could just be 2 games away from making it to 12 titles finals. Goodness me. Uh, Little dude against
Go on,
Lucro.
tell me what's going on. I'm
Right,
missing out
yeah.
on this. I'm busy sorting out some other
Right, I'll explain.
stuff.
So Dormer has beaten your brother, and Dormer will play either Wazito or Airside. And then if Dormer was to win against Wazito or Airside, then he'd go through to face Irish Iniesta or Krungus,
Oh
who is
my
DQ'd.
god!
So then Dormer could end up in things. It'd likely be against Epics, which you never know. That could be
No, it'd
winnable.
be against Jaffa. No, would it not be if he beats?
Oh yeah,
Irish
yeah,
Iniesta?
you're right. It would be against Jaffa, assuming Jaffa beats Epics. But that would be impressive from Dormer making it that far through the bracket. So yes, in chat we will be watching some matches slightly later on. Some of the more interesting ones we think will be evenly matched. We could try. We may get a match later on in winners round 4. That could be a point where some of the interesting matches are going ahead.
Yeah.
There
There are a few interesting matches going on at the moment, though. So you got Little Dude versus Lucra. Let's talk about that one. They're IEL teammates from last year, or last season rather, and they've a lot of respect. They're good friends with each other. They play a lot of Rocket League together, and that's going to be a tight match. You'd expect Little to take him down. He is in the top 8 seeds. There is a lot of rivalry there, and there's going to be a lot of respect and camaraderie there as well. So that's going to be an interesting match, I think.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Lucra and Little Dude are actually both in Lobby 1, both unmuted, probably having a chat while playing, and judging by his Discord status, Little Dude is currently losing to Lucra 2-1 with 4 minutes remaining. So, early days still in that game, but I think that would be a shock result if Lucra took down Little Dude.
I would assume it would be a shock result, but you never know in these games. Lucre isn't a bad one spare. I mean, he took down the mighty Reginald in the RLIS before, so anything can happen. He's gone silent, boys. He's gone muted. He's raging.
Okay.
Come back, Grace.
Yeah, so Wazito has taken down Airside. That'll put him up against Dormer in his next match. I hope Dormer can watch that. We could actually go and watch that match. What are we thinking, Enwrong?
Which match do we want to watch? I better load up Rocket League if that's the case.
Dormer against Wazito.
Has it started? No, yeah, they've actually messaged each other in general,
yeah,
so it hasn't yet. So we can.
Yeah,
let's go do it. Why not?
Yeah, let's get into this. I will put the information up in our little chat, and we'll be getting into our first match of the day featuring Dormer. That certainly could be a shock. I don't think he expected to have his game being cast this early on, but predictions for Dormer versus Wazito.
I haven't seen Wazito, so I don't know, but I think Wazito should win this. Oh, but I can't bet against my buddy Dormer, but he just beat my brother, Wazito.
Yeah,
Dormer's a big head.
well.
Yeah, Dormer.
Yeah, so I think I would tend to agree. I haven't seen either of them play a whole lot of ones, but certainly I do hope Dormer can pull through, because if Dormer can win that, he'd likely go through to winners round 4 or the winners round 5. So that would be a shock to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to give me part leader while you're?
Oh no, I've got the information.
You're good.
already.
Okay, cool. I'm going to focus on bracket. And Darcy in the chat saying Donegal rivalry about to go down. That's because Dry has just taken down Barzy 5-3. Close series actually by Barzy. Well done there by Barzy. And he's about to play Darcy in Donegal rivalry above there. D-Mox playing Mulholland actually. D-Mox might find a bit of trouble there as with that one. Mull's got a good kickoff. But not only that, Mull's actually a reasonable player anyway. Elzor versus Epics. You were saying Epics would be a favourite there. I'm not so sure about that. I'd fancy Elzor, but Epix is more of a ones player. My Parable versus Jarrine, you'd expect my Parable to take down Jarrine there, but you never know. Jo versus Blah, I'd hope Blah would win that, but he did bottle it versus my Parable the last day, and Mayday versus Colin, of course, there as well. So yeah, a few interesting games going on. But yeah, I guess let's see if we can get into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're just having a little pause in between games, so we'll just outline some of the biggest results we've seen so far. Also, fellow admin Dave Forehead has fallen at the hands of Slick Mick. Not too much of a surprise there, but that's a shame.
That is dreadful for it, man. That is absolutely dreadful. Get him out of RLI.
Oh well.
Dreadful. 8-5. What? How did he score 5 goals against Slick Mick? What's going on? He does drop only to losers round 2, and he's going to win that because Apps is going to DQ. So Forehead moves on now to losers round 3 straight off the bat for that, because I know Apps won't be showing because Apps for some reason signed up. Someone told him to sign up because it adds to the prize pool, so that'll be €1 coming out of the prize pool for biggest upset, by the way. Just so whoever.
Oh yeah,
said
that is also something to note, that we do have a biggest upset prize for the person who causes the biggest upset, which after we take money off of okay, right, we will be getting into this match against Dormer and Thingy. I've just got to turn the overlay off. Oh, this is poor from me. This is very poor. There we
Oh,
go.
this is terrible. I was betting on this match. And
There
Dormer!
we go, we're in Dormer. We catch it just in time for the first goal, and Dormer puts himself ahead.
Yeah, nice little goal over Dormer. Wazito, of course. Not sure what he's doing up in the backboard there, but he misses the ball. And Rez, of course, not skipping the replay. No, I'm only joking, Rez, you're fine.
I am incredibly toxic, as we all know, obviously. Gitsy King, probably the person in this bracket who gets the most tilted by not skipping the replays, but
That should have been on the quiz.
that should have been on the quiz.
Dormer, that is poor. This man can't flick anything, man. This is we're going to go for more of a meme approach today, Rez, by the way. Wazito, what a flick!
Good save by Dormer. D for Dormer, D for D ranking, but obviously you can't D rank in a private match, so Dormer may miss the open net. He has, and it's rolled up, and he's got demoed. Dormer, he's beamed it. It's a shocking performance from him, and Wazito could have to flick off here. He's looking for the fake, but Dormer, what a save from that man. Surely he can't miss again. This would be LTX style, LTX Sam style finishing if he missed, but he doesn't and puts himself 2 goals up.
The only reason Dormer gets a hard time off of me, Darcy, is because I get hard when I look at him. PG stream, by the way.
Oh yeah, just something else of note. Panda has defeated Gitsy, I believe, 4-3. So that's a very close game. Gitsy doing well to keep it close with Panda. Obviously, Panda, that was the first match he's played in the tournament so far, as Dawn was forced to make a save. Wazito flicking it high, but he's got no boost. Dormer double jumping for a reason that's unbeknownst to me, but he's moving forward now with 0 boost, and he's been demoed for his troubles. Wazito, plenty of boost. Dormer not challenging, and what a flick into the top corner from Wazito to bring it back to a 1-goal game.
Yeah, well, nice little play there. And Droy has just checked in on time. Darcy was saying in the chat, Droy hasn't checked in. I checked up in the match there, Rez, while I was just tabbed out of the game. And as it happened, Droy actually checked in with 7 seconds to go. Just like the time he was number 7 in the world. You know, 7. It's probably his favourite number.
Absolutely. Obviously, a few sort of well-esteemed ones players in RLI. Obviously, we have Dry, obviously, not up to the same standards. But Wazito's going to level things up there. Obviously, Dry formerly top 7 in the world. Also Rob Kiernan, who's already made it through to the final 12, is, I believe, current, or at least at the end of last season, was top 40 in the world in ones. So
oh my god.
go on.
Lucre took down Little Dude 5-6. Lucre has taken down Little Dude 6-5. Little Dude apparently was lagging, but that's always been his excuse whenever he plays bad. Probably was, though, to be fair, because he is actually always lagging. But Dormer gets scored on here by Bozito, but that is a big upset. And whoever wins between Mayday and Sam now.
Absolutely.
Well, actually, no. Well, yeah, actually, yeah, no. If they win, whoever wins between them, I think, has a good chance, don't they?
Absolutely. As Wazito, Dormer's lead has crumbled in front of his eyes, and Wazito's put himself 1 goal ahead. Dormer needs to fight back for this, and that's the kind of kickoff he's going to need. Up on the wall, he's off the ceiling. Oh, this would be a clip if he can put it in, but he's been denied by the defender. He's only got 12 boosts with Z, so Dormer should be challenging around about now, but the 50-50 doesn't really go in his favour, but he makes a good save to keep it away. Zito could look for the Doomsday
Dish. Simulator there is. Did you see that? He was reversing like he was playing Parking Simulator 2, which is now out on Android, by the way.
Not a sponsored stream, Jam. We are not sponsored by Parking Simulator, as both players seem to drive in circles. No, they're not lagging, they're just marginally incompetent. As Dormer makes the block. Rosito, he's got a ball on top of his car. He's showed his flicking prowess so far, but Dormer will get in there first. Dormer's stuck on defense. He has been for a little while now, as he could get a shot off here. Dormer bouncing on the goal line. If that was on target, there was nothing he could have done. He backflip away. Zito off to the side. Well, he's missed the mid boost though, so no ceiling shot or air dribble this time, as Dormer has been caught out almost. Gets away with that one. That was a big error in defense from him. As he presses forward, could have the goal here. Looks for the demo, but it's not going to come through, and he's not going to be happy with that. He arguably had an open net to aim at, but that all doesn't matter now, as Dormer, great 50-50, but he doesn't have the angle to put it in. He's just going to have to withdraw from that attack, but Zito living life on the edge here, and Dormer somehow gets it in.
He's so poxy, that man. That man with his beautiful head of hair. And he's somehow, look at this 50. What is that? Oh my god, this man. Oh, what a player. What a man. Great man on the set, great man on the 50.
Absolutely is. Dormer levels things up with 1.5 minutes to go. Tracking back towards boost. Got I was going to say a bit of time on the ball, but Rosito's just rushing in, and he's going to reclaim his lead just 10 seconds after kickoff.
Yeah, nice little challenge there by Rosito. Dormer, whatever the hell that was, that power slide turn, yeah, has caused that issue there. So, yeah, not another great play there by him, but yeah, 4-3, still time, right?
Still plenty of time. It is ones, but then again, it is best of ones. So, you don't get any more chances if you lose the first game, as Rosito looking to put a misery compiler in here, as Rosito up on the wall. He's keeping possession well. He's got 65 boost to work with, and Dormer, that clear is not convincing at all, and Rosito puts it in to make it 5-3.
Yeah, big goal there by Rosito, and this is what I was fearing by Dormer. These amazing touches by Dormer and the amazing recoveries, and unfortunately it's not quite enough as he blasted into the back of the net. I can't tell if that's a pint of Heineken or a pint of Carlsberg, Rez. You obviously wouldn't know because you're underage.
You're not wrong about that one, and with it going into the last minute, Dormer needs to find 2 goals just to take it to overtime. Rosito could make it 6-3 and does, and this game seems to be slipping away from Dormer. It was such a promising start, going 2-0 up in the first minute, but he's just crumbled since then.
Yeah, nice goal there by Rosito, but it's just another kind of... He's just not falling for Dormer at the moment, Rez. And again, the kickoff gets done, and Rosito has got more possession again off of the kickoff. And he puts a really high shot, it's going to bounce fairly well down.
Good shot.
And the speed.
Great speed from Rosito, getting up ahead of Dormer, getting up there quicker, and he's shown to be quite the competitor. This game he's done very well, getting 7 goals past Dormer. It's not the easiest thing to do, so he could definitely be a danger moving forward. He would go into he would move into the winners round 5, which would be some achievement, as he prevents Dormer getting his 4th. Another good block there from Dormer, but there's not going to be enough. He needs to find some boost and keep possession, but he can't do both, as he gives the ball away. Rosito now in possession with less than 30 seconds to go here. It looks to be out of reach for Dormer now, as Rosito looks to continue to pile on the pressure, and that's a lovely foot touch as it falls. And Rosito makes it 8-3, and that will send Dormer into the lower bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. Big news coming in. Of course, John AK always true against someone. Captain Cork beat him 5-3. No, 10-4 apparently. Nice one, John. Not sure where you're getting the 5-3 from. Unless he's on about Tricks earlier. I think he's on against Tricks. Linz takes down big man thing there in the game. 7-5. Actually, fairly close game considering the rank difference. Gilzo takes down the young G Mago 7-4. I think Loki has checked in. He has indeed. So the horse on Inferno is not going to do anything there. And I know Wazito just scored, but the game is over. So I'm just going to continue going through the scores here, Rez, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
go for it.
Um, on top of that, then, of course, we've got a few other games going on in the lower bracket there. Trix will take down N-Cannon because N-Cannon's going to DQ out of that one as well. Let me think who else has we got there now in the upper bracket. Oh, LTX Sam, actually. Sam has finally won his first game. It took me a while to get reported. I'm not really sure what the delay was, but Sam took down the Ryboy 8-2, and he's now on to play solo. Blatt took down Jo on a crushing 11-3 performance. Mayday had a bit of trouble taking down Colin 10-8, so well done there to Colin, putting up a good fight. But Slick Mix first, well, Tasting Rainbow's DQ'd, so Slick Mix next match is against Mayday. I'm not sure yet, but I believe Jar Ryan has taken down My Parable, which will be a fairly big shock considering how far he got yesterday was.
Yeah, my
Um,
Parable played a really good series. I think he even beat Adzer at one point in the lower bracket, so it was a very impressive showing, and he's going to be disappointed that he can't be quite so convincing in this one.
yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to go through a few other results there now. Kansas playing Demox, I think. Yeah, Demox took down Mulholland 10-6. Nice little one there for Demox. That'll help him a lot. Panda, of course, still waiting on the the Darcy match with Dry. Jaffa took down SBF 6-1. Elzor, I called it Rez, took down Epics 6-2. So pretty convincing win there. And of course, we've just saw the Wazito Waz, I just call him. He took down Dormer 9-3. So Waz will play Irish Iniesta in his first game of the day. Gonna be a tough one for Irish Iniesta, who's been DMing me a little bit there. Good luck there in your match. Shallow's playing Lapsy. Lapsy's first match of the day as well. And a few of these boys are getting a little bit unlucky because some people have not shown up. So, yeah, there's a few big ones there. In the lower bracket, Res, nothing else has happened at the moment. We're just waiting on a good few people there to kind of DQ out at this moment in time. There's two matches that will have DQs. So, the Liam, OAC, and Fuchsia and Dahiads are both of them are going to DQ. So basically, whoever wins on the other side of their little brackets, if you get me, the ones like Gitsy King and Tricks, and I guess Tasting Rainbows. Actually, no, Colin's already there. So Tasting Rainbows, Quark, Airside, they've all got good chances to make progress on that side of the bracket, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Shallow getting his way through the bracket. He's now up against Lapsley. And he may meet Lucra, and Blah has made it also through Blah beating Jo fairly convincingly in that one. 11 goals to 3. He's likely going to face Sam in his next match, as Mayday is now playing Slick Mix. So that sort of bottom half of the bracket is shaping up very nicely for a nice interesting match, likely between, I'd say, Mayday and Sam, but Blah and Slick Mick definitely have the potential to cause an upset in that one.
Yeah, I'm very happy there now for Jar Ryan. Jar Ryan takes down My Parable 6-3. I think the score was in the end, Rez, just to confirm it. That's a pretty big upset. It's not as big as the My Parable versus Blah one yesterday, but that just tells you, Rez, best of one, anything can happen. You would never have thought Jar Ryan would take down Blah, but My Parable took down Blah, but then Jar Ryan takes down My Parable, and this is the kind of way ones can go. You know, different play styles, different day, how are you feeling on the day, and this kind of thing happens. So, yeah, excellent really by all these guys, and well done there. By Jar Ryan to take down My Parable, and Jar Ryan now advances to play Lucre. And who would have thought that that side of the bracket would be like that, to be honest? So yeah, and of course Irish and Yes has gotten really far as well, just because of loads of people at DQ. But at least he'll get a bit of experience as well. And as we said, he's playing Waz there. I guess Rez, for you, who have you been most surprised by so far?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there have been too many upsets. Lucra taking down Little Dude, that's probably one of the big shocks of the bracket so far. But even that, I could definitely see the potential of happening before that series or before that game took place. Also, I think I just want to ask you: is there anyone who you're disappointed with? Obviously, not the people who've DQ, but the people who've dropped down early.
Well, I am disappointed with Apps, but he's kind of a time waster now, as we've seen in 2 days in a row. But in terms of who's DQ'd, sorry, in terms of who's not
Yeah.
DQ'd, I think Parable, Little Dude as well. I know Little Dude might have been lagging, but to lose to Lucra is a fairly decent upset, I would say. Out of everyone else, not really. Most of the results have gone as expected. Jar Ryan, I think, beating my Parable is probably the biggest one, to be honest. So yeah, well done to Jar Ryan. My Parable, a little bit disappointed by him there. Zexel lost to D Lynch actually, which would be kind of a decent result because I'd expected Zexel to take that down. So well done there to D Lynch on that win. That's a big win for him. And yeah, a lot of the other games on the bracket are going through, of course.
Yeah, I just would like to say I actually think Lucra, one of the best ones players on RLI. I think he's taken down some of the greats. So I think that does excuse my loss to him in RLIS. But moving on. Demox currently taking on Lovely Cans. Mull was sent to the low bracket a little bit earlier by Demox. He's now playing Gilzo for a spot to play against D Lynch in losers round 4. Obviously, the losers bracket advancing a little bit more slowly than the upper bracket, but we will get there eventually. For anyone interested, the estimated finish time of this bracket is going to be around about 10 o'clock. So the stream will continue until the very end. I'm sure I'll be very hungry considering I haven't eaten any dinner yet, but I can get through this. Obviously, Dry and Darcy still taking place.
I mean, if you need to go get dinner, Rez, I'm going to say it. I'm not even going to type this out in the chat. Go and play, or sorry, go and get your dinner if you need to. I can continue it on. If you want to go get your dinner
No,
before
no,
the
no.
mother starts ringing the bell. Sure.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I can last. This bracket's far too engaging for me to go anywhere. um, so a couple of other interesting matches that are currently taking place. Jaffa against Elzor. I think Elzor has the potential to cause a fairly big upset in that one. What's your take on that?
Say that again, Rez. Sorry, I was busy messaging someone there.
Yeah, Jaffa against Elzor. I think Elzor has the potential, almost to cause an upset in that one. Or do you think Jaffa's a bit too strong?
Oh my god, the biggest upset so
Oh,
far in
go
this
on.
tournament. Slick Mick has taken down Mayday
Oh,
7.
ho, ho, ho. That is a massive upset. Mayday falling to Slick Mick, and that will prevent the LTX Mayday match from happening. The beef will not be resolved.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to get these guys here now.
That is a devastating
But yeah, that's
result
a
for
big one.
Mayday.
He said the internet hasn't been great in that game, and he says it was struggling to hit the ball sometimes because of it. So we can only take his word on that, but that's a big upset. And Sam already has got a huge chance, so does Shallow. That makes their bracket infinitely more easy. But Sam has to get past Blah first, even get near Slick Mick.
Yeah, absolutely. Blah, good player on his own right. I haven't seen him too much in ones. He's definitely a threes player, but obviously Sam, LTX Sam and LTX Sam versus Liam, or Liam is solo. Am I right in thinking?
Yeah, Liam
Yeah.
is solo, yeah.
Yeah, so LTX Sam against Solo and Dry against Darcy, the only two matches left to finish in winners round 3. They should be coming in fairly shortly. So we're starting to get to the point where some of the matches coming up are fairly significant as far as the bracket goes. We will see soon Panda up against either Dry or Darcy. That will be one that we could definitely tune into. Panda, a player who's predicted to go through into the final 12 in this tournament.
Blah already calling out Mayday in the chat. Wouldn't be Mayday without the excuses. Oh, big fighting words. It's hilarious. Panda, of course, giving out about the game taking forever. Lander Norris is playing Rocket League again. Don't leave here, though. Stay with us. And, yeah. Yeah, some big results. And I heard you said the F word on stream as well, Rez.
Did I? I think I tried to say 2 words at once, but you never know. Maybe I'm just ruining the stream for you. Not my country, not my problem. Anyway.
Say that again. Say that again.
Yes, and that
Oh, Captain Quark took down Airside. Yes, let's go.
airside dropping early, obviously. What's the stats on day 4 head? Day 4 head making it through thanks to an APS. Actually, we've missed out on a golden opportunity to watch day 4 head versus
Day 4 head, yeah, that's a shame.
Oh, that's
Moles
gutting.
down Gilzo, by the way, Rez, 14-2. That is a slaughter. Leave the man alone, man. Frickin' hell, like, don't be bullying him like that. 14-2. Just stop scoring after like 8 or 9. Frickin' hell. Still waiting on a few other games at the moment. The Dry Darcy one's taking ages to go on. I'm not sure what's happening here with this one.
Yeah, I mean, Dry did join it at the very last moment of things.
Cans just lost to Demox.
Ooh, was it an hour loss?
4-3. Yeah, close game in the end. So Dmox moves up to the winners semi-final in the upper bracket, or in the upper part of the upper bracket, as we see Dave Forehead, of course, scoring a goal. But Rez, you need to change the stream, I think, overlay for that if you want to do that.
No, we won't. I think the game is all but confirmed.
Oh yeah,
For
that's fair.
Dormer.
We won't say
Uh,
anything. We won't change the stream. We're just gonna sit here and watch it ourselves, just to laugh, I guess, at Forehead and his amazingness, and Dormer is having a
Actually,
great
yeah,
laugh.
okay, go on. All right, I'll turn the stream on just so we can watch Forehead against Dormer. The last 30
Oh!
seconds in this game is Forehead
Oh!
almost puts it in. Dormer. Oh, he's got the ball on top of his car. Look at the pace of this dribble. What can he do? Oh, it's a poor shot in the end from Dormer. Forehead making a phenomenal save in that one.
Yeah, hold on. I need to message someone.
Oh, who's about to get disqualified? Who's about to get banned from
Roy.
RLI?
Roy got disqualified because he took too long to make a game, so I passed on Darcy there into the next round. I know Darcy would have liked to have, but we need to get a bracket
sorry
done
to
today.
interrupt you, but Dormer has just scored an air dribble against Forehead on 0 seconds. He's smashed into the ceiling and Forehead's finishing off for him. What a game. What a player. What a performance. And now Mull is telling me to join a game, I guess. I don't see why not. We can get right into that one. Yeah, Mull versus D Lynch. That sounds like a match that we can get involved in shortly. Let's watch that one, Enwrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Donal, of course, up to his usual antics, and I'll be having another word with him. Apparently, the game has been going on for 17 minutes, and he checked in. But he's been in an IEL game.
Interesting. Lots of controversy. That is the RLI way. So we can have just a look down the bracket. Captain Quark about to take on Colin. That'll be an interesting match. I'd certainly know who I'll be rooting for in that one, but I have waning confidence in Quark to take down Colin, who has performed fairly well all day.
Oh, Gitsy. Why did you want to save him? For God's sake. I'm going to have to make a decision here in this game because Gitsy is engaged in some toxicity by water saving tricks. So.
Oh, not again. Gitsy King.
Of course. God's sake. You're going to give me a minute while I look into this.
Well then, I try and open Task Manager so I can close my Rocket League so that it doesn't, so that it can stop crashing. I'm just gonna have a look down the bracket for some other results. Shannon versus Lapsley. That result should be coming in soon. And we will see Panda versus Darcy. That'll be a game coming in shortly. If my Rocket League would like to close and then launch again, we could definitely get into watching that. I think Panda would definitely be the favourite for that, but Darcy is a fairly decent player. He can definitely cause an upset in a game like that, so we will get into things shortly. I don't think we're going to go for the Mull versus D Lynch game. I think I'm kind of hoping that Mull gets knocked out because he did say he would join us on the casting desk as soon as he was knocked out. So you know, but best of luck, Mull. But I'd like to have you on the desk as well sooner rather than later. But yeah, I'd definitely be interested to see what goes on.
If you want to watch Blah and Sam play, actually.
Well, actually, yeah, Blah and Sam game, that's definitely an interesting one that we could tune into. That will be beginning shortly.
Yeah, you can maybe look into that one there. I need to get back into your party. Have you left me?
I have left you. My game crashed. I'm so sorry. There's not a whole lot I can do about that one. But we will get into this match of Blah against LTX Sam.
I'm just busy here now getting involved in a lot of things, like a lot of things. So,
yeah, obviously the desk a little bit more sparse today. Obviously we had Gitsy's good friend Naylor joining us on the other day, but just us this evening, at least for now, as we're going to be getting into things. We have Blah against LTX Sam coming through, and this is a really tough game. I think I would put Sam marginally as the favourite, but we don't know which way this is going to go. Blah wins the kickoff convincingly as he keeps possession and gets the boost, but Sam, aggressive as ever, is going to try and win it back. As he does so, he gets the flick. It's a good flick, but it's not going to be on target. His shooting has plagued him throughout the 12 Titans, and Blah, I just want to comment, he may arguably have the nicest car design that I've seen all tournament long, so he might have...
It's fairly clean.
It is a clean car design, and it is a clean gold as he puts the first one in. 24 seconds into the match. Good stuff by Blah.
Yeah.
Good pace on the finish, getting it ahead of LTX Sam.
Yeah, you go ahead there.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring out this this whole situation with a few different people. Donal, of course, checking into matches and then not showing up, and obviously Dry doing something similar, and Sam getting absolutely murdered on the wall here by Blah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, if anyone hears any background noise, so you may have heard recently that in Madrid and in Rome they've been all clapping at a certain time, and I think that's what people in my road are doing. So celebrating a lockdown in style, love that. But something else to note, LTX Sam has been choosing not to go for the diagonal kickoffs into 12 Titans, which is an interesting choice. Obviously, I think he's afraid of the speed flip kickoff, which has been circulating around the Rocket League community as LTX Sam gets a good demo and may have the goal, and he will confirm it. Blah, his lead is reduced to 1. A good demo from Sam there, keeps possession, holds onto it, and has done really well to get himself back within 1 of Blah's score. Interesting from Kitsy in the chats, is Tricks watching every replay and skipping mine without hesitation. We love the not skipping of the replays here at RLI. No, Sabsara, I'm not from the north. I am very much from the south of England. As Blah puts in a 3rd goal. He is certainly not from England. He is Irish, well, Polish a little bit, or Latvian as well. But you know, Blah, he's certainly no slouch at Rocket League, that's for sure. As he puts a 3rd one past LTX Sam within the first minute and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just busy. But 3-1 to Blah, and Sam, he's known to bottle. And I think him and May, they were thinking a little bit too much above their own next games against each other, and they forgot about the slick mix, the blahs, and so on. So yeah.
Yeah, Sam holding on to possession here. He could have a flick, but Blah just bold and brave will 50 that one right through him, as he's now going to track back onto defense as Blah can't get the flick off as he has to track back. Blah in the corner, he's gained possession again, and that's a good clearance. Sam might not be able to make it back for this. He will, just plays it off his own backboard. And now Blah, he's had a lot of the possession this game, and he's going to hold on to it. He's just going to go backwards, play it safe as he jumps off the backboard. And he's actually going to give possession away to Sam, but again, Blah, he's just had so much of the possession. He seems to have no fear of Sam, just goes in for every challenge. It's an annoying playstyle to play against. A risky one at that though, as Sam transitions forward, but Blah again with the early challenge. He's done really well to keep challenging Sam, not giving him any space or time to work with. He knows how Sam wants to play, and he's been challenging every ball possible. As moves forward, he's not going to have the angle to finish that one off. Halfway through the game now, Blah still has a 2-goal lead off the backboard, and Blah, good 50, but he's in a spot of bother here as it turns well, and he's going to stop Blah from, or he's going to stop Sam from advancing any further. LTX Sam playing it from the back, Pep Guardiola style, playing it out from the back as he's been dispossessed.
That is so poor.
That is a poor touch from Sam, and he's just gifted Blah his 4th goal, and I just don't think he was ready for the pace that Blah was going to bring to this game.
Yeah, Blah maybe yesterday was just caught off guard with ones, and he hasn't been playing it a lot, and maybe he thought he would just run through all the way, and you know, he came up against Parable, had trouble, and that was the end of it. And now today he's been playing a bit of ones, and he's actually been playing a lot better, and we can see the results of it. And Sam is getting absolutely done here at the moment by Blah.
Yeah.
Blah's been a lot faster than Sam, and it's been a lot more complete.
Yeah, Blah, he's using a one style that you don't see too often, is he's going to miss an open net. He's been infected by not just the Renault breaks, but also by Sam's shooting in the RL scene. So a poor shot from Blah, but does he really need it when he's 4 goals up? That remains to be seen as Sam makes a miss. He's going to concede the boost to Blah as well, but he won't concede a goal. But Blah just decimating Sam on the wall. He's going to make the turn. He could have a shot. This would be a fantastic goal if he could pull it off, but he's been prevented at the last second. Sam's gonna give the ball away again. That's really poor as Blah tries to transition forward, but he's giving the ball away. Sam Gets a good flick and he's going to reclaim one. Oh my dear God. Someone get this man a shooting pack as Blah gets away with murder on that one. And he's gone for the flick here, Sam, forced to make a save. Blah again, he's just been so good this game of just taking it backwards and retaining possession, but he's going to get demoed this time. Sam must get a goal within the next couple of seconds and he's going to whiff the flick, and the acclaimed match of Sam versus Mayday. Neither player is going to make it to that point, it looks, as Blah is set to take down LTX Sam. Gets another block on the line, and with each passing second, the game and the score seems all but confirmed within the last 30 seconds as Blah gets the flick, keeps it away from Sam. And now Sam getting the bump, but bumps don't win you games as Blah can just take it around his backboard and see out the last 17 seconds as he is going to go on to play Slick Mick in the next round. And neither of those players were really expected to make it to that point, as LTX Sam will be sent down to the lower bracket, sent to the Shadow Realm, as they say, by Blah, who has looked really convincing this game, to say the least.
Yeah, well done by Blah. It's a huge statement to come back from yesterday. I was doubting him so much all day yesterday, all day today. And he's proven me wrong, and it's good to see. It's good because like he came top 3 at LAN, and there shouldn't be any reason for that other than he's a good player. And his performance yesterday made me question him so much, losing the Parable. But he's come out today, he's shown it some once off, and he's taken down Sam, who's no slouch in ones. And Sam now has got a really long, difficult, hard road back to get through this bracket. Well done to Blah. And he now advances, and he's got a tough match ahead of him next. I think he's playing Shallow next, is he? No, he's playing Slick Mick. Yeah, so great win there by him. Hello, everyone in the chat. CPLSAMB. I'm still waiting. Panda.
Yeah,
that's Waz.
Yeah, cool. Panda versus Darcy. I'm not sure what's going on with that game, I think.
No, Panda versus Darcy. So they actually played out the match. Darcy and Dry did.
Oh, right,
Darcy
I see.
Dry won. So Darcy was basically happy enough to give Dry the win.
Yeah, lovely cans.
Which is very sound of Darcy.
Lovely cans falling. Oh, we have another upset. I've just seen another upset. Elzor has taken down Jaffa 7-4.
What? Oh my, what is going on with this bracket, bro? Jaffa, what is happening, man? What is happening?
We didn't see too many upsets on Tuesday, but here we're seeing them all as Cans has fallen into the low bracket at the hands of Demox 4-3. Respectable performance from Cans, but we're beginning to see this low bracket, and it is also LTX Sam against Mulholland coming up next. That's another spicy match, as Dormer is playing Krungus. I think Krungus is actually going to DQ, so that will put Dormer into losers round 5. He's getting ever closer to an impressive finish, as Darcy's, I don't know whatever happened with the Gitsy thing. Is he disqualified?
No, he just got a warning. Gitsy did, just so everyone knows. He just got a warning. So yeah, that's just the way it is there. With that. So he won't do it again. But of course, he said Trix was not skipping the replays, and that was being toxic. But that's not really being toxic because he wasn't doing anything. He just wasn't skipping the replays. There's nothing wrong with not skipping the replays, by the way, just so everyone knows. If you want to take a drink of water and you do it after every kickoff, then or after every goal, then do that, because that's what I do anyway most of the time. I don't skip my replays a lot of the time. So. But yeah, Rez, I've heard that we are taking a break. Is that correct?
Yes, I have also heard this information, so we are going to go to a quick break. We will be back in the next 5 or so minutes to continue the bracket. A couple of spicy matches coming up soon. Don't go anywhere. This has been the Irish 12 Titans, and we will be back with you shortly. Hello and welcome back to the Irish 12 Titans, brought to you by Rocket League Ireland. I'm Rez, I'm still joined by Enwrong, and we have got some interesting results that have come through during the break. Obviously, just before we left, we watched Blah defeat LTX Sam in a reasonably shocking result. While we were off air, Panda has defeated Dry 7 goals to 2, so that's impressive from Panda, who has now gone on to play D-Mox. Furthermore, Joe Ryan, who had been a very good run through the bracket, defeating D-Lynch, My Parable, and Lucra, fell to the hands of Shallow. Shallow has now advanced himself to be just within one game of making it through to the last 12. Blah and
Yeah, and Blah has just taken down Slick Mick, by the way, 10-5, I believe.
yeah, I can agree with that. Blah taking down Slick Mick. He will face off against Shallow for a spot in the 12 Titans, and I think we are going to try and watch that one because that is a huge matchup. Obviously, Blah has been popping off today, but Shallow has also done well. I think it's safe to say that Blah has had bigger competition throughout his bracket run. He's played Jo, LTX Sam, and Slick Mick, whereas Shallow's only played Joe Ryan, who's no slouch, but obviously not of the same caliber as Sam, and he's also played Lapsley. So arguably Blah might be slightly more warmed up, but I think it's safe to say that Shallow is arguably the slightly more impressive player in that one, as we will get into things as soon as these boys check in, and they just have. So we'll be watching this match of Shallow against Blah. This will be the first match of the qualifier where the winner goes through into the final.
Yeah, absolutely. Just invite me when you're ready
Yeah.
there. And perfect. To speak to the devil. um, yeah, I'm just checking in on a few other matches, of course, in the lower bracket as well. Let's not forget we have an entire lower bracket going. Krungus has actually showed up, and he showed up at a 7-2 win over Dormer. I'm not sure if you've mentioned that
Oh,
one,
yeah.
but I'm just going to go through the losers round 4 at the moment. Mull, of course, took down D Lynch, 6-5. Close series. Darcy took down Gitsy King there in a 4-3 series. Very close there as well by those two guys. Colin smashes Captain Cork with an 11-3 win there on Lucky Podge. Go and have some beers there with our other brother. Bardsey takes down Poke with a Stick 8-3. Not really a surprise, but well done by Poke with a Stick for standing tall for so long. Parable and Dominguez just started, and Jo, of course, he looks like he's about to be DQ'd late again for something.
Sorry, was that Jo being late?
Yeah, and Mull has taken down Sam.
What?
I'm pretty sure I've just seen Mulholland taking down Sam. Does anyone want to let me know if Mull beats Sam?
Oh, that would be
If
a
that's...
massive shock. I'm getting 6-5 to Mull. That's what I'm
Are you
seeing.
able? Are you doing because yeah, I'll do that there, Cans. I think whoever said that. So yeah, Mayday of course disqualified. I don't know why he wants to be disqualified manually. He doesn't want to give it a go. He says his internet's fricked, so we're gonna DQ him out of the tournament there as well. So Darcy move on to the next round. I guess he speeds up the bracket, which is good for him. But well done there by Mulholland to take down Sam. Mull's got a great chance here of making a huge run. And just so you know as well, I don't know if you mentioned it, Wazito takes down Elzor 9-5. Wazito, Waz,
Ooh,
is in the winner's bracket final for the upper part of the bracket.
dear
He's
God.
going to take on the winner of Shallow, or Panda and D-Mox rather. So yeah, if you want to go into that game there, you're more
Yes,
than
yeah.
welcome to.
Once they make it, I will be right in. As Mull is sending me clips that he hit again in his match against Sam. Um,
I'm not so surprised by that one though. Sam was telling us that he was really worried about playing Mull, and Mull was clearly in his head. Mull didn't even have to say anything to him, and he
Yeah.
was in Sam's head. Mull's kickoff giving Sam trouble. I think Mull is actually a decent one player, to be honest with you. I'm not surprised by that, as I will be with Jar Ryan beating Lucra. I suppose I'm not really surprised by that one.
Yeah.
Or a Lucra beating maybe a little. It's kind of really hard to say. I would say Blah beating Sam. No, again, I'm not really sure. I still think the Parable win on Blah yesterday, because it shows that Blah actually just had a really bad day, I think, in my
Yeah.
mind. That he lost to someone like My Parable, and there's nothing against My Parable, of course. I think just that's a big win. Elzor actually beating Jaffa, that could be a big one.
Yeah, I'd
But
also
Elzor
just
is a
like
high
I'd
rank
also
player.
just like to mention that Mull's win over LTX Sam actually came from a 0-second goal to take the game on 0 seconds. That is knocking Sam not just out of the upper bracket, he's now out of the lower bracket, he's out of the qualifier, and he's out of season 4 of the Irish 12 Titans, and that's a big shock. He's ended up going out quite early.
Yeah, absolutely. just here busy responding into our little caster streamer chat because I think there's loads of funny little things going on at the moment in this tournament. But yeah, Dmox and Panda, big game there. Panda, big pressure on him not to really throw this away like others have in this tournament so far. But here we go on this one, and I'll let you take us away while I keep an eye on everything else.
Shallow in his corner. He came just, I believe, within one game of winning last qualifier. And he's within that again this time as Blur rips off a shot early on. Blur, he's just been so good at keeping possession again. Really dominated the game against Sam earlier, but he's lost possession there and has allowed Shallow a breakthrough. Shallow gets himself the first goal.
Blah going for a super risky challenge, and the thing is, he was doing this against Sam, but Sam wasn't being smart about his challenges. Shallow is a more experienced ones player, I think a more intelligent ones player, and he showed it there.
And even kickoff, neither of these players seemingly using the speed flip kickoff, which is fair enough, it's a difficult mechanic to master. As Blah makes a save, good save, as Shallow misses on the wall, provides Blah with an opportunity. Can he bang it in? No, he can't. It was close, but it hits the post as Shallow advancing forward, kind of a flick. It's a poor flick from Shallow, but a poor counter shot from Blur, and he needs to do better.
Scored, Rez.
He could have scored. That's two opportunities now, but he could score here, and that's a great
Nice
doozy dish to put it in.
dunk.
Really nice dunk, taking Shallow out of the play as Shallow tries to make the save off the back wall, but he's just there to get in the way. Things are all level 1 minute into the game as Shallow wins the kickoff and he wins possession off it, and he's going to put it in. That's the first kickoff goal of the game, and Shallow puts himself ahead. Unfortunate for Blah, I didn't really see him getting anything too wrong, so it's just unfortunate things like that happen in ones, and that's what makes the game mode so tilting.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing. Ones, I mean, as much as I dislike it, kickoffs are a skill, even though they seem like they're kind of random. What a shot by Shallow. My God, Rez, I can't tell you how intelligent that is. This man, the sauce, he's coming out.
Shallow is bringing the sauce with this play, puts it behind Blah. He just sees him driving forward, and Shallow, he didn't have back his mode, he didn't have the sauce on Tuesday, but he does today, and he's looking good so far, but there's still plenty of time for Blah to make the comeback. But with all these kickoffs going in Shallow's favour as he gets another one, Shallow scored 3 goals in 20 seconds, and Blah needs to find a way to counter this.
Yeah, he does. And the problem with Blah is, at the moment, from what I've seen, is he just challenges everything. He's not thinking about it. And that worked on Sam, this really bim-bam approach. But you can't just go into every game expecting that kind of approach. Yeah, absolutely. So Blah needs to just be a little bit more intelligent with his challenges. He needs to think more. He just took down Sam with a good play style that worked against Sam, but it's not working against Shallow. Time to vary it up, time to mix it up a little bit. Nothing wrong with chasing some balls, but not all of them, and that's the problem what he's done so far.
A good challenge in the midfield from Blah. He could have an opportunity, but the shot won't be on target, and it also won't be powerful enough to get past the source man. As Blah plays up against the wall, Shallow decides not to go for that one. Gives Blah the opportunity, but Blah has just gone a bit too early on that one. Back flipping to try and retain possession, but that sort of thing worked against LTX Sam. It won't work against Shallow, and Shallow is looking brilliant for the time being.
I'm telling you, I said it before, and I'll say it again. Shallow, in my mind, he was always in my top 4 today. Whereas he was like my #1 name on that sheet. I said it to you. I said it before him, before Panda, even though Panda was #1 seed. I think Shallow is a different kettle of fish altogether. He's really, really good ones player. He's very intelligent. He waits for Blad to make those little mistakes. He's very similar ilk to Pengu, in my opinion.
Yeah, Shallow playing smart, playing well, makes it 6, and in just a minute this has gone from being a game that was tied up to being 6-1 in favour of Shallow, and that just shows how in control he's been in the last moment. Also, in other news, Panda has Panda has taken down Dmox. Blah says, can we take turns on kickoffs? He knows how ruined he's been getting as he's going to go for the flip reset. Can he do it? He tries, but Shallow makes the save. And
oh, he could have got the Brazil Shallow. Oh, what a nice guy.
Fair enough. Respectable. It seems like both players have seemed to accept what's been going on as Blah makes the save, prevents Shallow making it the Brazil.
Whew. Just so you know as well, in that Panda Dmox match, it was 7-6. So it's kind of close. I would ask Panda and Waz in the chat to check in, but don't start their match just yet. Because if you do, I mean, you'll be waiting ages in the lower bracket, waiting for all the other games. So you might as well just wait for us. We'll spectate your game, and we'll watch it. So just hold on for us, guys. Just make sure you check in, of course. And Shallow gets a big, huge Brazil, and that's game over, I think.
This is a different side of Blah from what we saw. This is the first qualifier Blah. This is the first qualifier that dropped to my parable in the lower bracket, taking him out. And it seems that Blah's playstyle is just a bit too one-dimensional for the task at hand, and it worked against Sam. It hasn't worked against Shallow, and he's pretty much out of it now. Obviously, it's still possible, but with Shallow putting in an 8th goal there, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is an absolute slaughter. This is just bullying, really. Different class here, and just so you know that D-Mox Panda game went to overtime as well. So Panda not. I'm not going to say Panda's not playing his best, but D-Mox is definitely having a great go of it at this tournament so far. Well up to him. And he's got a really good chance of making it through now in this bracket, in my opinion. He is probably going to be looking to play the loser of this, which will be Blah. However, in the losers final, if he can get that far. So, D-Mox, chance. Oh, the sauce almost.
Bringing out the sauce to make it 9-1, but instead it will be... Jesus, Blossom was missed, but he'll put it in. I'm sure he'll say that one's placement. But makes it 8-2. It's still possible, but just incredibly unlikely.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pan and Maz, of course, have checked in. I'll get the server details into a DM there for you, Rez, straight away, so we can hop straight in after this game, which you would have just received there on Steam. But we can, yeah, we can do that. We might as well almost go in now, I suppose, or should we wait? No, I suppose it's bad, isn't it? It would be terrible. It would be very mean to leave a game. It's kind of a waste of time.
And considering they were going for clips, we may as well see things out here.
Yeah, I suppose. Let's be nice to Blah. He is Formula 4 head challenger.
Yep. And I'm the Formula 4 head spreadsheet designer. Any of you have any?
And teammate of the champion in Elect.
Yeah. As Shallow puts in number 9. Great stuff from Shallow. He's absolutely dominated. Actually, I'm just going to have a look at the scores of all his previous games. Shallow current.
Just so you know, your Steam messages appear on the screen.
Oh yeah, I'm fully aware. Yeah. Yeah, Shallow currently 9-2 up against Blah. He beat Jarian 9-3, and he beat Lapsley 10-2. Am I getting a million messages? It just... That's outrageous. That is outrageous conduct from the Abdul. That's so poor.
Someone else will start messaging you now.
Is that D-Mox? Oh dear. I don't even know how to turn it off. I tried to turn it off on Tuesday, but
this is like the RLCS when loads of people are going to start adding you now.
Oh, now Barzy's messaging me. Oh god. Half these people have never messaged me before, and now they're all filling up my DMs.
Oh, Blah has been absolutely... What is going on? He's been absolutely molested.
Thank you very much,
sauce.
D-Mox, on your helpful...
Oh, the sauce.
Wait, that's my Steam overlay show. Oh, my Steam overlay shows up on stream. Oh god, it's a total
this
disaster.
Is some quality production right here for anyone who's watching.
Production value as Shallow confirms it and takes down Blah. Just of note, Shallow has not, out of the 3 games he's played, the closest game that he's played was 9-3. That is destruction.
Well done to Shallow. He has made it through to our finals there, and yeah, well done by Shallow. I know that wasn't unexpected for me. I expected Shallow to go through, and yeah, I'm very
Yeah, that was a very impressive performance from Shallow. Nothing Blah really could have done. He should have changed his playstyle. He could have changed his playstyle, but he missed his opportunity. And now we are going to be having a look at the other semi-final, or the other final that will be taking place out between Panda and Waz. That will be taking place momentarily. I'll try and get us in the lobby as soon as possible. Um, yeah, but I think Panda's the obvious favourite here, but Waz has done so well so far. Is there a chance?
I can't see Panda losing this. I mean, Waz is a decent player. I played him in rank twice there last week when we were doing our grind up. Um, but Panda's a different class, and unless Panda's a bottle job here, he shouldn't lose this game. And well done to Shallow.
Yeah, very well done to Shallow. He's going to be the first to go through from this bracket as Panda against Wazito about to begin. One of these people will make it through to the final 12 of the Irish 12 Titans. At the end of these 5 minutes, will it be Panda or Wazito? I think we know who the favourite is. And he's on the ball now, and he's put himself 1 goal up.
What a start. He just absolutely pings it into the top of the net. The problem is a Panda is, you give him time, Rez, and he just blasts the ball in. You know, what Panda's really good at is taking people out of games. You know, he's good at like taking on people in 1v1 situations. So if you give him time on the ball, he's going to win. So, yeah, well done to Shallow though. Blah drops to the lowers, and Blah's going to be on the side of Elzor, Darcy, Mull, Krungus, Lead Spartan, G-Mox. They've all got to get through Blah to get there.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough side of the bracket. So Blah will be hoping that he can make it through on his second time of asking as Waz tries to go in for the challenge. As Panda, he just gets it through him, gets past his man, puts it in for 2 goals.
Yeah, well done there by Panda once again. Waz getting caught in the corner, unfortunately. You need to be, your ball control needs to be sublime versus Panda. And Panda with a lovely little play there. I'm going to do a quick update there in the bracket while we commentate on this game, if you don't mind, Rez. There's just a few results that have come in. Krungus take down Lapsley 96. No accurate scoring there. We just get the 1-0, so I don't think that's the right score. Lucra gets taken down 6-2 by Elite Spartan 100. As we know, Mull, of course, in a shock result again. 6-5 against Sam. Well, not really so much of a shock, I guess, considering we know how they were going in scrims. Dry takes down Colin, 5-2. Unlucky there, Colin, but your buddy at the moment is playing in the winners' semi-final, final, whatever you want to call it here. And yeah, Kansas playing Clayton at the moment. Jaffa's playing Jamingo, and that's just started. And we're waiting on Irish Iniesta to check in versus Barzi. Irish Iniesta still not checked in, of course, and we're not really sure what's happening there with him.
Yeah, back to this game though. Panda still 2 goals up against Waz. As Waz has made a big error there, but he's going to get away with it. Good double jump just to buy him some time, buy him some space as he prioritises boost over ball, and Panda's good enough to punish that, but not this time.
Sam infected him.
He's been infected by Sam, and he was in the Fennec on Tuesday, he's in the Octane today, and it doesn't seem to have helped as he can't put that one into the open net as Waz pushes back forward as Panda forced to go around his own backboard. Holding on to things well here, Panda. He's got space to go for a big hit, but it won't come through. It's a poor touch in the end from Panda as he's now giving Waz space, but lovely backflip, and he's going to get himself a goal. That was fantastic play from Panda to get his 3rd.
Yeah, nice little clever by Panda. Good challenge. Waz just not able to get the flick off, unfortunately, and yeah, that's about it really in there. And Waz is gonna have to step up big time now. I know he might not, he might have it in him, he might not, but he just got to do his best. Try not to get embarrassed here, and that's the main thing. And worst case scenario, he goes to the losers bracket final. He's still got a great chance to make it through.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, Mull has defeated Darcy now to take him through to the next round. He's getting closer to being one of the shocks of the tournament as Panda. He's hit another one up against the post, and he could definitely be 5 goals up if it wasn't for his poor shooting. As Waz
he's absolutely
just getting ruined as Panda. He's looking for the clip. He's not got the flip reset. That's poor from Panda. I bet he's smashing his table after that one.
He's not Jake.
Yeah, no, you do have a valid argument as Waz. He's coming off the ceiling. And he's made an error there.
Apologies.
And could have gifted Panda a 4th as Panda looks to just be going for clips now, to be honest, as he's up in the air, goes for the aerial bump, gets the Jesse bump and makes it 4-0.
I was going to say apologies to everyone there on stream. I can't really be bothered muting my mic anymore because, you know, the professionalism's kind of gone out the window with the stream. It's been a lot more enjoyable, so I'm just going to keep drinking my tea on stream and hope you enjoy the sound of me slurping away on this. All I can say right now is, Rez, this, I know it's only 4-0, but this is kind of over.
It is slightly over. In other news, Lovely Cans has uninstalled the game after losing to Clayton in losers
Whew.
round 5. Um, he lost that game 8-4.
Oh no, cans. Lag maybe?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a rough one from Lovely Cans. I think it's safe to say he won't be best pleased with that as he falls out of the tournament in its entirety to Clayton, who was seeded very low from this tournament. Actually, I'm just gonna have a look at seeding. Clayton has defeated Cans in the lower bracket, and he was 61st seed in the bracket, whereas Cans was 8th. That's a big, or 9th, sorry, that was a big shock. As this game, seeing it out, just a formality at this point, as well as tries to reclaim some dignity and won't. That's unfortunate. He's with that one as he could still get one. Tries to fake out Panda, but Panda's not easily faked. Obviously did reach the monumental feat of 2000 MMR last season, which obviously not in ones, but shows how good a threes player is. And whereas can't just get past him. Panda been a brick wall on defense, and he's also been incredible on offense as he skates away from Waz, looking to try and make it happen, but he's just going to go back. There's no need for him to press, as well as a desperation play goes up onto the backboard.
Yeah, I'm just sorting out RLIS issues now. It's amazing,
Oh,
really.
fantastic. Are these fun? Are these interesting ones? Oh, hold on, I know what this is, hold on. What an absolute shambles. Anyway, Panda has made it through to the final 12 of the Irish 12 Titans. He's going to be joining Shallow from this qualifier. Rob Kiernan, Pengu, Spectre, and somebody else from the first qualifier. I can tell you there. And Ryan, and then the 4 gatekeepers. So well done to Panda. He goes through. Good stuff from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, whereas I think we need to take a break because I've got some other issues to sort out now.
Fair enough.
If you want to do that.
Yeah, okay.
Just for 2 minutes, and I'll sort out something else here, and I'll fill you in on it. But yeah, guys will be back soon. Well done to Mulder taking down Darcy, and Panda. Well done, my friend. You finally done it. Stop bottling like everyone else. Well done.
Well, you heard the man. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Hello and welcome back to the 12 Titans, and we have news. In a shock turn of events, or RLI's most hated, well, maybe not most hated, but he's certainly up there.
He's up there.
Jamingo has defeated Jaffa in the lower bracket of things. That knocks Jaffa out of the tournament in its entirety. And Enwrong, that considerably weakens this lower section of the lower bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaffa losing there. That's an absolute shocker, to be honest with you. I can't believe that's happened. That's probably the biggest shock of all. I'm not going to give the money to Jamingo though, no matter what. There's no way he's getting that money. Not a chance in hell. It's just not happening. Like I'm not giving my fucking money to Jamingo. But yeah, that's a bit of an upset now. To be fair, 3-5. So well done to Jamingo there for as little as that's worked. I hope Arzi takes him down. If not, someone else does. But yeah, this side of the bracket is a lot weaker now. Clayton, however, is a dark horse. He only lost to a goal um, there to Jaffa earlier on, and now he's taking down Dry, and he's about to play Jar Ryan. Jar Ryan's a dark horse. Waz could get in, but Slick Mick is my I think my favorite now on that side of the bracket. Mick is a decent ones player. He's fairly intelligent with his ones, so yeah. We're actually going to drag in Mull there now. So Rez, I'm just going to bring him in into another little chat first to brief him on what we're going to do. So just give me 1 minute and I'll be back to you there in a second if you want to go through the rest of the bracket.
Well then, now I am left on my own. I'm gonna go through the bracket so far. Actually, let's have a look at who the people are who have made it already into the 12 Titans. So, the 12 Titans finals will be happening on Sunday, and the 8 people or the 10 people who are currently already there. So we have 4 gatekeepers, those being Red Eyes, Walshy, Mug, and Ineffable. And then the 4 players who made it through from the first qualifier that took place on Tuesday. That was Pengu, Rob Kiernan, Ryan, and Spectre. And then we have 2 players already confirmed from this side or from today's bracket. Those being Panda and Shallow. Both of those players doing phenomenally well to get there. So now it comes down to the final. Right, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 players fighting for the final 2 spots in the 12 Titans, and I have now been joined by a newcaster for the evening. Merle, commiserations, you've just lost to Elzor. How did that happen?
You know, man, I was playing really good. You know, I won a few
You were.
games. I surprised myself. Some people say I got lucky against Sam, but I don't know. I don't know. Elzor is a really good player. You know, I haven't really seen him that much, but at the start of the game, I was up 3 goals. I feel like I just got a bit too comfortable. You know, ended up losing it throughout, and but yeah, it was a really good game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You've been doing really well through the bracket today. Obviously defeating who did you defeat earlier on? Um, yeah. Oh wait, you lost to D-Monks. Wait, who?
He beat Sam.
Yeah, you beat Sam.
early
There
on
we go.
today.
There we go.
Sam
Yeah.
was a big upset, and I don't care what Sam says about lag or what anyone else has been saying about lag. Lag is just an excuse at the end of the day. For me, sure, it might have happened, but it's still an excuse. You still have to beat him, and to me, that was a fairly big upset. You had 1 or 2 other kind of decent results earlier on today as well when I was following you around, Mull. When you came up through kind of the lower half of the bracket. D Lynch is not a bad player. How did that go? Just out of interest, because I know he's like reasonable. He's not terrible. But he's like a reasonable player. How was that?
Yeah, actually, no, I didn't know him that well. So when I was coming up against the 1v1, I didn't know anything, you know. So it could be either way. He was such a solid player, though. Completely caught me off guard. I was expecting it to be a much slower paced game. I feel like at the start he really caught me off guard, and he had a lot of the game. But one thing that I keep coming back with in ones is my kickoff. Luckily, you know what I mean. So I ended up just getting it in there for that last goal, and luckily I won. Same with most of my games. You know, it's just solid kickoff and then try and take advantage of that and get a goal or two. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Rez, I'm just going to fill in some results. Obviously, Mull, unfortunately, they're taken down by Ellsworth 6-3. You mentioned a few upsets, I assume. The Jaffa one,
Yeah,
that's a
huge
fairly
upset.
big one. Yeah. Just so you know as well, we got Slick Mix to the left in the bracket, but Waz and Blair are the 2 ones in the losers finals there as well. What's kind of been your biggest surprise today, Mull, just out of interest, in terms of like not just you, but like in general, who's kind of like surprised you a lot in terms of doing well? Firstly, let's say.
In terms of doing well, I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's a lot different from the first one, you know, because you don't really expect much because it's the first tournament. But in the second tournament, people sort of have expectations.
Hmm.
So, like, I think my biggest surprise was that Lucre beat Little Dude, like at the start of the tournament. That was very surprising for me. Now, I'm not saying Lucre's a bad player, but like, Little Dude was previously on the first day going all the way down to what was it? He was like top 12 seed or something.
Top 8. Yeah, he was 8.
Yeah, there you go. And then he lost to Lucre. So that's just that was mental for me.
Another person on the lag blame train, apparently, but look, I'm sure everyone's had lag issues in
Is this
ones.
Jaffa?
You know, one of many people to have those issues in ones today. Yeah, Rez, there's not really much we can do right now. We're waiting for the games to come in. We will watch the finals for both sides of the bracket, Waz and Blaz games, but for the rest, we're just going to kind of chill out for now. Well, who's kind of been the biggest, I guess, surprise for you in terms of really disappointing? There's a lot of people that's really disappointing. Some have issues, apparently. I'm not sure how, I'm not going to say it truthful, because I don't want to call them out in that way, but who's been your biggest surprise, I guess, really? In a negative way.
In a negative way. Ooh, I don't want to get on anyone's bad side.
Do it.
Sam.
No, I have to say no, not Sam. Mayday. I feel like he could have played a lot better. Obviously, he was someone who blamed lag as well.
I think he
But,
could have finished out the bracket. I know he was lagging, but he should have just finished it out. No, he should have just kept trying. I mean, he could have beaten players like Darcy. Was it? I think he was supposed to play.
Yeah.
Maybe then he would have gone up against you, and who knows how that could have gone, etc. Like,
And you know what? I was actually nervous. If he was to go up against me, I was convinced he was winning. Because I played against him in RLIS and he destroyed me. So the fact he didn't play was such a relief. You know what I mean? So getting put against Darcy, obviously Darcy's a really good ones player. But I don't know, it's just because I played Mayday before, I sort of put it in my head that he was going to win. But luckily he didn't play, which, you know, he should have played.
Yeah, absolutely. Dmox has taken down Krungus. Dmox now has made it to the losers semi-final. He's about to play Elzor. That's a big match, and the winner, of course.
We should get into that one.
If you want to go into that one, then by all means, go ahead. Mull, you can color with him on this one. So
sure.
just invite him there to the party. I'll be in the game anyway as well. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on the bracket and update you.
Yeah, so Dmox versus Elzor coming up next. Elzor obviously falling to Wazito earlier in the bracket, and Dmox has been making his way through the lower bracket after falling to Panda in the winners semi-final. Obviously Panda already through, so both these people losing in tight matches. So I will like to see which way this goes. I think I'd arguably put my money on Dmox, but Elzor definitely has potential to cause an upset.
Yeah, Mull, just a question for you before I stay out of your way for the next 5 minutes. How was Elzor as a player? What was he like? Because I guess we know what Dmox is like in terms of a threes player. We don't really know what he's like as a ones player. But how does Elzor play? Is he aggressive? Is he bim bam? Is he patient? Is he somewhere in between? What's your take
I
on him?
feel like towards the start of the game, he really tried to be aggressive, but I instantly shut him down with the first goal. So I feel like after that, he sort of backed off. But I feel like after the game went on, as you do, he sort of read me. And then he started just playing more patient. So he's a really good patient player. I feel like that's going to catch Dmox off. Considering I've played against the both of them in this tournament, actually. My first game was against Dmox, and my last game was against Elzor. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Cool. Guys, take it away.
So
Whenever he joined.
Dmox against Elzor. Elzor, a bit of an unknown element coming into this tournament. He hasn't played in too many RLI tournaments before. Against Dmox, a seasoned veteran, champion of the first season of Six Mans. Banned from RLIS, you know, he's got it all. And the boys are joining onto the teams now. Dmox in the orange, Elzor in the blue. 5 minutes is going to separate these two. The loser is knocked out of the 12 Titans in its entirety. As Dmox keeps possession after the kickoff, but won't be able to get the boost. As Elzor holds onto possession. Dmox lets Elzor get it past him, and that's a poor start from Dmox. Elzor putting it in. Dmox just waiting slightly too long, and you just can't leave that kind of space at this level. Players do have the ability to just flick it over you just in an instant, as Dmox was shown there by Elzor.
I feel like Demox there was actually really expecting Elzor to go for a much faster approach, which caught Demox off guard a lot, actually.
Absolutely, as Elzor almost loses out there as Demox trying to hold on to possession, almost like Blarded against Sam earlier, but just with slightly less success as Elzor forced to make a play off his back wall. As he does so, Demox, he's got plenty of boost to work with. Big opportunity here. He's going to want to score this as he puts it past Elzor, and that's a good shot, isn't it, Mel?
Yeah, that was a very good shot from Demox. He played it really slow. See, Demox in ones, he's so good at taking these opportunities and just trying to get the ball in a good spot where no one's going to save it. You know, he uses his time very wisely in these moments.
And kickoff yet again, all leveled up this time with Demox getting the kickoff goal. Elzor, oh, very close to saving it. Could he have done more? I'm not too sure, but regardless, Demox reclaims his lead instantly after losing it. Or no, sorry, he's made the comeback. He's turned it around all in a couple of seconds.
That was a really close save from Elzor there.
Yeah, very close from Elzor. Unfortunate not to reach it, but that's what wins you ones games, those margins. But Elzor, it's good placement, but it's not good enough. Demox makes a save. He's got plenty of boost on the wall. Bouncing on top of his car. Elzor jumping off his backboard. Good flick from Demox. He's got it past the defender, and the defender can't get back. And Elzor has lost out in that play as Demox makes it 3-1.
You can really see that Elzor is just still trying to read Demox at this point, you know? Every shot that Demox kind of scored, Elzor is always trying to pre-jump and try and save the ball, but I feel like he's just sort of reading his opponent at the moment.
Indeed, as Demox yet again adding pressure to the situations. Elzor, he's actually going to miss that double touch, perhaps nerves coming into play, and I think he could have saved that, but he chooses not to, chooses to just abandon ship and allow Demox to get his fourth.
I feel like Elzor's starting to really feel the pressure now from Demox. He's really going to have to take something out of the hat now.
Absolutely. Still plenty of time to go though, but especially with him sort of stopping before the goal actually went in that time, it might just show that his mind isn't quite in the game as Demox retains possession of the kickoff. Elzor though, it's a good shot. Demox can't get there. And Elzor, he's began the road to recovery in this game.
Definitely, that was a really good shot. I feel like Demox didn't really respect him that much, but that was an absolute banger. Really good shot from Elzor.
Indeed, as we've had 6 goals in the first 1.5 minutes. There's certainly more to come from these boys as the kickoff is even. Elzor forced to go up early for that, but he's going to give away possession to Demox. But he's going to win it back as he could get another touch here. Gets the block, Demox, but it's a good play from him, pressing forward here.
Elzor keeping really good ball and boost control right now.
Good save from Demox, gets it just off the crossbar. The sigh or the inhalation of breath from Enwrong shows how close that was to going in. As Elzor, opportunity for a ceiling shot. He's going to jump off the wall. Demox on the backboard. Ooh. Playing it safe as Elzor, and Demox is going to own goal. Way. Catastrophic error from the veteran of RLI, who absolutely hammers it into his own goal. It wasn't even a threatening shot from Elzor.
What an angle.
That's too funny. Oh, Demox got ping issues. That's a rip. Yeah.
Everyone's having ping issues. Oh, look at his ping. It's sitting on 128 right now.
I'm sure he's going to blame the ping lag. Recurring feature throughout today as Elzor gets there first and he's made the comeback. Demox has thrown it all away in the last 2 minutes and he's made it back into the game and leveled it up.
While Demox is having those issues, I'm just going to mention that Clayton has brought down Jar Ryan 9-2, an absolute smashing performance there, guys.
Yeah, it's an impressive performance from Clayton, and he's going through his bracket. Also, Jamingo taking down Barzi 6-2, so Barzi's run has ended. Jamingo now fighting Slick Mick for a spot in the semi-finals as a block comes in by Demox. Elzor has the momentum in this game now as he gets the turn. Demox struggling to keep possession as Elzor playing it slow, and he's going to get the boost in the corner. Demox in a spot of bother here as he's only got 12 boost to work with. Elzor is was a good opportunity, but he's lost out on that one as Elzor keeps possession in midfield. The shot isn't going to go past Demox, so it's a good save.
Elzor keeping really good pressure on Demox at the moment, actually. Looks like Demox trying to do certain things, but he can't really do it because Elzor's just sticking around.
Demox still trying to retain possession, almost Blur-esque like he was against Sam, but he could own goal here. That was, for a moment, the angle of his car scared me a little as he's given away possession. Elzor has got himself right back into this game and more, making it 5-4.
That's actually insane. To think that just a minute ago, Demox was up by a few goals and Elzor just brings it back so quickly.
Yeah, the pace of this comeback from Elzor, we thought he'd given up. We thought that the game is beginning to go out of reach, but that is not true anymore, as he's now not just brought it back level, but he's brought it back into his favour as Demox holds on to possession, but he's lost it away as Elzor. The race for the boost is won by Demox. Elzor now in a lot of trouble. He needs to make sure he gets back, and he's played time really well there to get in time to get out of the way and get some boost. Demox now with a flick opportunity as Elzor makes a good save. Pinches it down onto the top of Demox's car as Demox is back up. The shot just off target, and Elzor getting away with things here. Oh, and Demox has lost out. He's not going to get the boost. Elzor could have an opportunity to counter. He does so, and he's going to make it 6-4.
I actually don't know what Demox was thinking there. They both tried to bump into each other, and then Demox just couldn't get that boost grab, which was really unfortunate. And then no pads on the way back. Elzor is really holding the boost management over Demox right now.
Absolutely. As Elzor wins another kickoff, he's looked so good in the last 2 minutes or so. As Demox needs to claim back 2 goals, and Elzor does not care. He's just going to go up for that one in the midfield. It's a big risk going up for errors like that in ones, but he doesn't care at this point. Demox needs to get something done here as it's saved by Elzor. 45 seconds to go for Demox to make this 2-goal comeback. Elzor couldn't make it 3, and he does so 7-4, and Elzor has all but confirmed the game.
That is crazy. It's crazy how ones is. Just like that, Demox is down 7-4. Elzor is sitting really comfortable. All he has to do now is just try and sustain.
Yeah, and Elzor looks to have booked himself a spot against Blar in the final. That's Demox. It must be this attack. If it's not this attack, then it's going to be never, but it will be this attack, and Demox brings it back within 2. Gives himself a chance. 31 seconds to go.
That was such a nice, solid, calculated flick from Demox. There's nowhere else the ball could have went there.
Absolute top bins, as they say, and Elzor, he knows he can just make sure he retains possession, retains boost, doesn't let Demox, doesn't give him a pathway back into the game. And Demox will be throwing everything and the kitchen sink at him now. Goes for the edge, and tries to get the dunk, and he's done it. Demox! Ooh. This could be happening, Mull.
This is actually after getting way more intense than it was just a few seconds ago. Demox bringing it back with such a solid dunk off the air dribble.
.22 seconds to go, and there is a chance for Demox as he wins the kickoff. He's going to get the boost in the corner. The adrenaline will be pumping now as Elzor gets it away well. Demox. Elzor gone for boost. Both players have boost. This could be the last attack, but he's blasted it over. The backflip will do nothing as Elzor gets a flick over. Elzor's going to get one more, and Demox is going to be eliminated from the 12 Titans.
That was actually such a good game. Even from the start, the pressure was just there, you know what I mean? And as I was saying at the start, Elzor was just over-committing a little bit, but he was just trying to read his opponent, and towards the end, you can really see, even with the pre-jumps when Demox was throwing up the ball, Elzor was just feeling very comfortable towards the end.
Elzor.
A little bit of a toxic comment there by Elzor, I have to say. You might have to warn him for that one.
Well, it was a close game in the end. Demox
lagged for 4 of the goals, so if he hadn't lagged for those 4, I think it might have been a different game.
Psionics letting us all down today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little bit dodgy there by Elzor, but we'll leave him off with it. Maybe give him a warning for it. But just so you know, the other game between Domingo and Slick Mick, of course, is nearing its completion. I'd expect Mick to take that one down. If Domingo makes it that far, I might have to give him some bit of money, but we'll see for now. Yeah, maybe he was innocent with that close game. I don't know, maybe, but we'll see. Oh, Panda just messaged me as well saying maybe he was just innocent with that close game. Maybe he was, but Yeah, Dmox, he was so unlucky. He lagged for 4 of the goals, and the scoreline in the end, lads, was 3 goals in the difference. And yeah, I mean, Elzor did what he needed to do, I guess.
Yeah, Elzor put in an absolute shift there towards the end of that game. He looked almost out of place in the first minute or so, and he's made it right back into things, and he is going to face off against Blair in the final match of the day. Well, actually, that might not be the final match of the day. No, that will be the penultimate match of the day. As we will also see the other final between Wazuto and either Stickmick, Jamingo or Clayton. We are nearing the completion of the bracket now. Just how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, just 6 players remain in contention now. And just 2 of those in the upper side of this lower bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to cast the next one, me and Mull, Rez, and you can go get a drink of water and take a break there, and you can come back in with me and we can cast the final one between Wazito and whoever plays him. Right, Mull, your next one up here, Blah versus Elzor. Who's going to win for you?
Ooh, I actually don't know. I haven't seen Blah play this entire series, but Blah's a solid player. I feel like I seen the game between him and Shallow though. I'm going to have to go with Blah. I feel like Blah's a really solid player from what I have seen. And considering I played against Elzor and then seen that game that he played against Dmox, but you never know. Elzor is really good at reading situations and adapting towards the end, so it's just gotta wait and see, you know.
Indeed, and I'm excited to see which way this one goes. And I think Blah's certainly the favourite, but Elzor has shown what he's made of in the past couple of matches. We'll have to see what happens.
Definitely. Where did Elzor come from, actually? He started off in the losing bracket of round 7. Then he got through that one, then he just beat Dmox there. He's actually
Elzor-
after coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, he's come out of nowhere in terms of RLI, but he's gone through a really long run. Oh, actually, wrong game. I think we're in. We just rejoined there. For some reason,
mistake.
it prompted me to rejoin your game, Rez. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one, Rez. Good job, Rez. Well done. Well done.
Right.
Elzor has had a good run today, Mull, to answer your question. So he took down Epics 6-2, which was, I predicted that one, but Rez was more on the side of Epics because we hadn't really seen Elzor really previously. He had a poor day yesterday. He actually took down Jaffa then 7-4, which was a surprise for me, a big surprise. I know Elzor is like an 1800 level player in 3s, but 3s and 2s,
Yeah.
Mull, they don't always translate. He got taken down in by Waz, 5-9, so that's why I don't expect Elzor to beat Blah here. And Elzor then, of course, went on. He faced yourself. He took down Dmox just there, and he's about to play a Blah here now. So I wouldn't fancy Elzor here, but you never know in this kind of game, do you?
No, not really. In ones, it's honestly, even the little tiniest bit of having no boost will literally throw someone over. I feel like Blah's going to try and play very aggressive, though, at the start. I feel like he's very confident going into this. I feel like Elzor is going to be the underdog in this, definitely. He's going to try and just slowly but surely bring it in.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, we're ready, of course. I will tell them to go. Who's your money on? Blah or Elzor? Well,
Ooh, I've got to go Blah. Sorry, Elzor. It's got to be Blah.
okay, here we go, guys. We kick things off here in the first of the losers finals. Blah versus Elzor, and Elzor gets a fairly convincing win on the kickoff. One thing I've seen so far from these guys, Elzor plays a lot slower than Blah, and I wonder if Blah plays his bim bam approach style of Rocket League. Will he catch Elzor out? And he has already.
Ooh, that was a really nice shot from Blah right there. Nice pinch on the floor.
Yeah, nice shot there from Bly. Puts it in top corner. A little bit of a floor punch, I guess, but Elzor just didn't really space himself out correctly there. Incorrect shadowing, would you say, Mull?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The thing is, Blah, watching him play, he plays so fast, you know what I mean? He's always trying to go for the opportunity. That kickoff is crazy. But he's always trying to go for these opportunities and make plays, and I feel like it catches a lot of people off guard, and you can clearly see that first goal, he caught Elzor off guard a lot.
Ooh. And I believe he faked him, or Elzor just missed the ball. It's hard to decipher here what happened. But Elzor moves off the back post, and he does a cans little area there, unfortunately, for Elzor. Close one, though, from him. And he had 2-0 already, Mull.
It's, yeah, I feel like Elzor just didn't anticipate the ball going like that. I feel like he expected a bit of a harder flick, you know what I mean? Well, as the other games go, I feel like Elzor's just going to read this out. Hopefully he's going to get a goal soon enough to make this series a bit more interesting. Black
on the ball.
possession.
Blah now on the ball, looking for a dribble play on Elzor. He's going to get around this. He's probably going to sneak a quick shot. He should get it in, but no, Elzor with a great save. And Blah might be kicking himself there. Elzor going up in the air. Clearly not a customary ones play. Maybe he hasn't been playing a lot of the ones there, Mull, because as we know, going up the wall, and again up the wall, wasting a load of boost is a very risky ones play indeed.
Honestly, it looks like he's just trying to have a bit of fun. You know what I mean? He has a very unorthodox playstyle to most people that I've really seen play this tournament so far. He tries to go for things that not many people would. So I feel maybe he's just trying to have fun, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Blah now 15 that with Elzor. And it goes up the wall here, but I was going to collect that boost. Elzor grabs one in the corner as well, but Blah now thinking about what he's going to do here. Elzor advances out to him slightly, but goes off the shadow now instead, but makes a good challenge, but Blah dropped the ball at the last second, and that was a good play by Blah there, and he's going to take a little pop shot there now on net. Elzor needs to make this touch, and he does indeed, and he grabs the boost. Blah is going to have to back off, but Blah, of course, in typical Bim Bam approach, goes up for it, but Elzor gets the kind of scoop on him, and Blah has to back off just for a second at least. Elzor now got the ball on his car, and he flicks it up beautifully, and he just has to make sure it goes in, and he does do that, and that's an excellent play by Elzor, Mull, and you were correct. Elzor is the kind of player who warms into a series, and he's showing it here again.
Yeah, definitely. You can really tell that he's starting to see Blah is playing very aggressive. But after that goal, you never know. Blah's probably going to try and slow it down a little bit, try and do the exact same thing Elzor is doing. So it's going to be, all after this kickoff, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
First real kickoff win for Blah, but he misses the ball, and he misses the boost, and Elzor is going to smack this one in. And that is a really interesting, unlucky play there by Blah. The car doesn't turn, Mull.
Definitely. It's definitely in Elzor's favor right now. I feel like Blah's going to feel a little pressure after that, you know, being the favorite going into this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. 2-2 now. 3 minutes to go. We're almost at halftime, and the scores are tied. And Elzor gets another favourable kickoff. He's gotten a few of these, and he's going to fancy his chances here with a little flick. It's too high, though, and maybe this will be in the favour of Blah. But Elzor puts it nice and high. Fakes the challenge from Blah, and he takes the pads on the way out, so Blah is going to have to go for corner boost, which is what he does. Elzor not thinking about the flick.
Normally at the start of that, Blah probably would have challenged that, but it looks like he's starting to play a little bit more defensive.
He got the boost though. That's critical there for him, Mull. Blah got that boost, and that's going to put Elzor under a lot of pressure here, and it does. And that's the critical thing. He got so lucky. The timing of that boost, like Mull, he literally left the corner and he got the boost, and that changes the complexity of this.
Yeah, it's all about timing in this game, you know what I mean? As soon as that boost came up, I'd say he got a nice big spark of confidence, and that was a really nice shot that he hit on him as well.
Yeah, nice little play there by Blah. Elzor now, he needs to make do of his pressure this time. He goes up really fast this time, but Blah makes a phenomenal stop. And he's going to go for that mid boost, so Elzor is going to have to turn around and take a shot, and he won't have the time to do so. And Blah now, he's got a lot of options here. He can smash this, he can do whatever he wants, but he's going to take his time with it. Lets the ball drop, he catches it on the hood. Blah now takes it from one side to the other, gets a nice little flick on it. It's going to be all about his recovery, and he gets the bump critically, and that is going to be a goal for Blah without a doubt.
Oh.
What the hell is Blah doing?
I thought
Anyway.
maybe no.
Explain. The nice shot coming out. We won't call that toxicity because Blah scores. It's just funny, like. Mull, explain.
Explain? I can't explain that.
As a ones veteran, how would you call that? What would you say
Okay,
that
so
is?
I actually do that a lot. Whenever I try to flip really quickly, I'll end up like having a little spasm and end up backflipping by accident because I flick too fast. I feel like maybe he done that.
Yeah, he gets caught out there again though, Elzor. A little bit too greedy going out. And Blah, of course, in his typical approach, he likes to stay very close to the ball, and he cuts it, and all of a sudden, well, the series is flipped right again in favour of Blah. And 5-2, that's a really big lead now for Elzor to come out of.
Yeah. Thing is, I feel like Elzor's had a majority of the favourable kickoffs during this series. I just feel like he's not really. Oh! As I was saying it, he scores an amazing little ground pinch off an aerial.
Ah, wow. Nothing Blah can do there.
He's not backing down without a fight, I'm telling you that.
Yeah, Shallow in the chat, of course, saying Blah needs the rocket sauce.
There's a sauce for everything now.
He backflipped!
No.
That's such a terrible shot by Blah, and Oh, Elzor. He's throwing, I think, a little bit here. The pressure is a bit high. And
Uh,
what is that? Well, anyway, the servers are completely done. But well done by Blah. Puts him in that situation, pressure situation. All of a sudden, the 3-goal lead again, and a favourable kickoff for Blah. Mull, what is going to be going through Elzor's head here? He's throwing slightly.
Honestly, I'd say at this point in time, he's just thinking to try and force a goal or something, but he's low on boost, and Blah... Oh, what a shot from Blah, bottom right. That was really nice.
Blah, of course, has made the 12 Titans before in the past. He's made the finals, Mull, and he's looking to do it again. And after I have talked him down all day long today, after his poor performance yesterday, Blah has come out here today and has really made a statement of intent, hasn't he?
Definitely making a statement right now. You know, going against someone that you don't really like. Elzor's never been around, so I'd say it's going to be hard to read him. But you can really tell that Blah's taking full advantage of this. Even now, just trying to go for the bump on him.
Tries to get the scoop, the panda scoop. In the other series, Domingo has finally lost. Thank goodness. He has lost a 5-4 to Slick Mick in the end there. Well done there to Mick. Mick is now 2 games away from making the 12 Titans finals. Elzor now on the ball. He's going for a little clip play here, and he absolutely beans the ball. And Blah, with impeccable shooting, puts the ball in to the bottom left corner. And this game is essentially done and dusted. Blah, it's almost impossible now, Mull, to not see him
Yeah,
as one of your 12
honestly.
Titans.
Definitely. Like, Blah's such a solid player, you know what I mean? And obviously going into this, we both favored him, you know? But Elzor played really good going up to this moment. I feel like he just sort of got outpaced by Blah a little bit, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Blah now up again for another clip play here. And he does the little the turn. But Elzor, of course, is probably going to get one back here. But he won't get the angle. Oh, he will, actually. I called it too early. It's... I can't see it happening, Mull. I just can't.
No.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You never know. Like, this is ones. Kickoff goals happen all the time, you know what I mean? And as I was saying before, Elzor was having a favorable kickoff at the start of the game. But, yeah, no, I honestly don't think he's going to really get these 4 goals back in 20 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking ever unlikely all the time, and that kickoff doesn't go in his favor. And Blah's going to wind down the clock now, go for some nice little plays. And Blah has made the 12 Titans finals. Congratulations to the big man. And a nice little goal there by Elzor to finish things off on. But well done to Blah. He really stepped up from yesterday. Yesterday was a really poor performance by him. But today, this is actually probably better than what I expected from Blah. And he shows he still has that spark to be a really good Rocket League player.
Definitely. You can really tell that he really wanted to make a statement. Even before this game, at the other games, you can really tell that he was playing a lot different from how he was on the first day. And he really wanted to win this.
Congratulations there to Blah Mull. And yeah, he moves on now to our next game. We're going to sit back and take a little short break. The last game, of course, we'll be back with Waz playing the winner of either Clayton or Slick Mick. Rez, if you are there in the background, just give us a mute there for 2 minutes and don't go anywhere, all of you in the chat.
Hello and welcome back to the final game of the second 12 Titans, Irish 12 Titans qualifier. And it has come down to this. Wazito against Slick Mick for the final 12th spot in the finals. Those finals will be happening on Sunday and we will be getting into things momentarily. I just want to hear from you, Malt. Both these people weren't really expected to have made it this far, and who do you think is going to make it?
Honestly, well, I've come up against Wazito a few times in threes. I feel like he's a really solid threes player, and I've actually never seen Slick Mick play before. But from the stats and from what's on paper, it looks like Slick Mick's been playing very solid. But it's going to be a really good game. They actually said good luck to each other in general chat before the game started up, so it's nice and wholesome going into this game.
Well, we like to hear that. We're going to be getting into this right now. Slick Mick against Waz for a spot in the 12 Titans finals. It's an even kickoff as Waz retains possession. Could have a flick-off opportunity, and he gets it past with him. Gets it past Mick with a fake. Fantastic stuff from Waz.
Nice play there by Waz. Yeah, he just... It's like, well, he was thinking about dropping it, and then he did the dormer flick where he catches on the car and he just isn't able to flick it because he has like arthritis or something. I'm not really sure what was happening there, but the defender couldn't save it anyway, so that's unlucky there, mate. But sure, look, do it for temporary.
Oh, that's a fantastic bump, but it won't quite sneak in at the near post as Mick trying to apply some pressure after falling 1-0 down. Mick, he's got a good flick opportunity here, but Waz is up quickly. Well played for him to retain his 1-0 lead. Slick in the midfield. He tries to get the flick, but it's poor, but Waz plays it off into his own corner. He's getting boost starved at the moment a little bit. Slick Mick taking all of the boost there is. And now a counter-attack opportunity. Looks like it may well work out, and with a little bit of help from Waz, Slick Mick's going to level it up.
Mick, nice little play there. Very risky being on the wall, very Red Eyes-esque, but he gets away with it and he makes a good shot in the end, and Wes just can't quite get there. And yeah, nice little play there in the end. And yeah, it's looking like a good game.
It is a tight game already, but tides can turn so quickly at one point, as we saw earlier with in the match of I can't remember which match it was, but in one of the matches earlier, we saw a 1-1 game turn into 6-1 within a minute. But Waz, the shot, he gets it on. Oh, he has missed. He's got
really
the
close.
LTX Sam shooting, and the fatal mistake may cost him later in this game as Slick Mick tries to get the flick off. It's going to be wide of the post. But again, he's boost starving Waz. Waz just can't get a play going with this little boost. He's now saturated in his corner. But that's a good flick to get it past Mick. Mick diving in, that's a rash decision, and Wes is going to reclaim his 1-goal lead with 3:23 to go.
Brilliant play there by Waz. Excellent play. Mick just a little bit too enthusiastic. And Waz, of course, he better accept me as a friend or he won't be making the finals anyway.
Well, it's been tight so far, but will it continue as Waz has possession? He has the boost as well. This may go straight in if Slick can't get there. He can. But a shot opportunity for Wazito. Oh, it's came off the crossbar with some speed, but he should still be there and it'll get there. Puts it in for 3-1.
I'm going to let Mull come in on this, but the first thing I'm going to say is, Shallow, I've noticed you've removed me as a friend. You won't be getting followed by our life.
You can actually, you can really tell in this game how the heartbeat is. Slick Mick's playing very fast-paced, trying to keep pressure up, but it looks like Waz is actually keeping it really calm and collected. And with Slick Mick just trying to make these plays really quickly, there's also going to be a lot of inconsistencies, which is going to open up a lot of opportunities for Waz. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. The one thing I've noticed so far is Waz is really like he's not like giving Mick a lot of room. Like even right now, he's kind of following him even though he's got very little boost. Very different playstyle to what we're used to seeing, isn't it?
Absolutely, and things have been close so far, but West is starting to edge ahead in this game as he's holding on to boost Mick up early. Wide to the post though. Oh, and that's just gone over the head of Waz, but he's going to get away with it. holds onto the ball and gets some boost in the defenses. He could be on for a counter-attack here as Mick has dived in yet again. Overzealous perhaps from Slick Mick as he might have underestimated his opponent, but that's a big pinch. Whereas slightly lucky it hasn't ended up in his own net there. But this is always awkward in the corner. In ones, you don't want to overcommit. It's so risky, especially in a scenario like this. The loser of this game gets nothing. The winner goes to the finals. There's no higher pressure at this point as well as he has a good 50-50 in the midfield to retain things, and Slick diving in again. This has cost him time and time again. But he's missed. It's hitting the post and rolling up. It's hit the crossbar, and that could be the lifeline. Slick Mick leaves. That is the lifeline that Slick Mick needed. It could have been 4-1, but it's now 3-2, and Slick Mick is right back in things.
This is absolutely outrageous behaviour there with the ball. Unbelievable. I can't really describe it, to be honest. Who made these physics, I have to say. Slick Mick, Tipperary man himself, getting the bit of luck again, just like Tipperary do every year in the hurling.
Crazy stuff, and Slick Mick with a fantastic kickoff levels it up, and this game is going right up again.
I'm not sure what happened there with Waz. I thought he was accepting my friend request, but he still hasn't. We'll say no more, continue.
Oh dear. Waz can't get up to that one quick enough. Slick might have a chance, but it's just been turned away. Scarily close to being an own goal there. If that was me, if that was the RNG, if that was Cans, it would have gone straight into the back of the net, but doesn't matter here.
Being top right.
Yeah. Slick Mick concedes possession in the midfield. He's going to go for the boost instead, but he's given Mosito plenty of space, plenty of time, but decides to try and go for 50-50 play. It hasn't worked out for him. Mick stuck in defense here, but there's a minute left and the game is tied. It couldn't get any tighter than this. Could you have it any other way? As Mick looking for the Doomsday dish, but Waz comes up behind him. Will not allow him to do that. Not at this point. Waz could have had the flick off there. It was Slick Mick pressing
forward. Is trouble.
This could be trouble, but Waz, good decision making on the defense there as it pings off to the side. Hands must be shaking at this point as Waz puts another shot wide of the post. Error. Again, an error that could cost him. He's missed multiple open nets in this game. He's been infected by LTX Sam. That's a good 50-50. His midfield game's been fantastic, but on offense he just hasn't made it work so far. That's a 50-50. Pings it over to the side. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce hard. Mick commits into that one as we could be going to overtime in the final game of the qualifiers. Looks like we might, and Waz will let it happen. We're in overtime.
Come on. This is good.
So much pressure for these players, and Slick Mick may have won it just off the kickoff. Will it happen? Slick Mick has made it through to the final of the 12 Titans. Tragedy strikes for Wazito. He had so many opportunities that game and he's crumbled. Still GG's in the chat. Respect to both of these players.
No fun for you.
The tightest game we've seen all day comes in the last one. And that was an incredible performance by Slick Mick. Incredible throughout the day. And he is going to book himself the final spot in the Irish 12 Titans finals.
I've got to say, I genuinely believe that was probably the funnest game I've watched of this entire series. There was so much random stuff happening that you just couldn't keep track of. And there was so much like random shots and opportunities that people were missing and opportunities that people were hitting. That was actually such an interesting and fun game to watch.
Yeah, wow, what a game. Great way to end it off, and a nice little overtime, albeit only 7 seconds or however long the overtime was in the end. But yeah, there you go. Panda, Shallow, Blah, and Slick Mick. I don't think anyone called Slick Mick making it, but this is why I love the Irish 12 Titans, lads. Anything can happen. We've seen some shock results today, and Mick making it is brilliant performance by Mick. He deserves it so much. He's been excellent throughout the day, and hats off to him. I can't really say anything else about it. I'm very happy for him, and yeah, he's been a pleasant person in our life for so long, and yeah, he's got a big challenge on his hand though.
He does have a big challenge on his hands. I'm just going to run down the final standings, or who the people who are going to be entering the 12 Titans finals. So we have the 4 gatekeepers who got a bye all the way into the finals, that being Red Eyes, Walshy, Ineffable and Mug. And then the 4 players from the first qualifier, Robkin, Spectre, Pengu and Ryan. And then the 4 players from this qualifier being Panda, Panda, Slick Mick, Blah, and Shallow. Make sure you tune in on Sunday to watch those 12 players face it off in the finals of the Irish 12 Titans. We've had a fantastic day of games today, lads. Any comments?
I would like to announce the biggest upset.
Ooh, I'd like to hear this.
I've thought about it. This is my money, by the way, so I'm not letting anyone else think about it. Because Blah has made it through the finals all the way through. You see, I just can't give it to Jamingo. He's just been a twat for so long. Yeah, I'm. Do you reckon any of them would feel hard done by if I gave them half and half?
No, I think that would be respectable. I think Jamingo's upset against Jeff was a big shock, and then Parable's upset against Blah, also a big shock to everyone involved. So I think that's a respectable choice.
True. No, but Jamingo's been a prick in our life for too long. Parable's definitely getting some money anyway after his win against Blah yesterday. That was an excellent result from him, and we've seen that Blah actually is a really top quality ones player, and he's come out today with a big result, making it true. I'm gonna have to think about that Jamingo one a little bit more. Someone's probably gonna have to sway me a little bit on that one, but Jar Ryan has made some good runs today as well, I have to say. His win over Lucra, that was a decent one. It's not a shock, but it's just a decent win that I wouldn't have expected. I know Mick actually, Mayday may have had lag or whatever, but Mick actually beating Mayday is a pretty big result, I think, as well. And he's gone all the way. He's beaten Jamingo, he's beaten Clayton, he's beaten Waz. Mick might get something as well. I'll think about it a bit more. But my biggest surprise today was I'll think about it later on. Any final thoughts, boys?
Well,
Do you want to go first?
yeah. Well, I don't have any thoughts. It's been an incredible tournament. 2 days of qualifiers, 2 long days of qualifiers, 2 massive open brackets, and congratulations to the 8 players who made it through from these qualifiers. It's not an easy task, especially in best of ones. To Shallow, Panda, and then Rob Kiernan as well, who all made it through the upper bracket. Well done to them. They were fantastic throughout, and yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Well, for me personally, I actually wanted to bring it up. It would be crazy to see this tournament without all of the DQs. You know what I mean? If the people who actually showed up, this tournament could have went a complete different way. You know what I mean? Like all the people that are after making it through, they've all played so solid, and just the fact that everything's after coming down to this moment, and now there's the last people who are going to be playing on Sunday. It's crazy. Like all the work that goes into this. So like, yeah, it's really good job.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you think about all the players, I feel sorry for a couple of boys out there. Irish Iniesta, of course, he had a load of DQs. His first game, he couldn't even play it in, and then he didn't even play his game in the lower bracket because he was having issues within himself. So I feel sorry for that kind of person. Big upsets, kind of hard to talk about. Who did I thought did a really good job today? I would say Krungus did a good job going as far as he did. Molyu did a decent job as well. Clayton was excellent today, and obviously making it through in the end, I thought was an excellent performance. No surprise with Panda and Shallow, and I had no issues with them going through the upper bracket. I said with confidence all day long that I thought Shallow and Panda would have made it through. Shallow was my number 1 pick all day. I think he's the strongest ones player by far that was left, and Panda, if he didn't bottle it today, he was always going to go through in the end. But yeah, Rez, what about you? What do you think? Who I guess was surprising, bad, and good?
Oh, I was I think I agree with you. I was impressed by State Maker. Also impressed by Elzor. I hadn't heard of him before this tournament, and he did really well to make it as far as he did. People I'm disappointed with. Adza. I heard he was playing threes instead of actually playing 12 Titans, which is a very poor performance from him.
Typical, yeah.
He definitely could have made it through. But a good performance from most. I don't think there are too many massive shocks. Maybe Lovely Cans dropping quite early after his incredible performance in the first qualifier. But I don't have anything else to add. Are we all done?
I think we're all done. So guys, 12 Titans finals Sunday. Provisionally, we're going to say 6 p.m., but it might change to 7 p.m. start time. But let's assume 6 p.m. for now, for all of you there who are listening. The bracket will go up later tonight. Give me about an hour, and I will have it up. I will have it up by 11 definitely this time because it's easier. It's a lot less people. We've got defending champion Mug, season 2 champion Walshy, season 1 champion Red Eyes. We've got Ineffable, the most recent seasonal champion for both the Ones League and the seasonal. I guess every 3-month 1v1 tournament. And then, of course, in the first qualifier, we got Rob Kiernan, Pengu. We have Ryan and Spectre. And from this one, we have Shallow Panda, Blah, and finally, Slick Mick. Yeah, that's all I have to say, really. Mull, thank you very much for coming on, by the way. I've given you the caster role. I don't know if you've actually noticed that.
Yeah, I have.
So congrats.
It's official.
Yeah, well
thank
done.
you very much. Thank you.
Well done. And Rez, I'd like to thank you for helping us out with the graphics on the stream, for getting everything done in a timely and fairly professional manner, I have to say, and just for being a great caster as well. I'd like to thank Rez on behalf of RLI. Guys, we will see you on Sunday. Make sure to leave love for the casters and all the staff who've helped make this happen. And yeah, make sure everyone tunes in on Saturday. The more people we have watching it, the better. Because there's no RLC yet. Well, I suppose there is really the regional championships. They don't count. Forget EUE regionals. They're stupid. Make sure you tune in on Sunday at 6 p.m. Rez, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've been Rez. I've been joined by Enwrong and Merle today. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you tune in on Sunday for the finals of the 12 Titans. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.